Hey everybody, welcome to Crossover Attack. We apologize for missing last week. I had, my computer died. What are you gonna do? And I had to order a new one, and it took long. I know. I'm joined here as always by Hunter Davenport. How are you, Hunter?
I'm great. I'm riding the high of watching a man use a tractor as a weapon, so
yeah.
Pretty sick.
But who cares?
What?
But who cares about us? They hear us every episode. We got a special guest to get to right now.
We do.
I want to hear about this tractor weapon.
So, SummerSlam was tonight, and I was just watching out of curiosity, and Brock Lesnar used a tractor to, like, lift the ring up with Roman Reigns in the ring, and he, like, comically, like, slid out. It was pretty great.
I didn't watch the show, but I did see a clip on Reddit. I'll send you that link later if you want to see it. It's pretty funny.
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
It's worth watching.
But we are joined here by cosplayer and Twitch streamer and YouTuber and OnlyFanser, Raychul Moore. Hello, Rachel.
Hello. Hi. Thanks for having me.
We're happy to have you. You're our first guest and our best
Yay.
guest, too.
Yay.
Yeah, the best one.
Thanks.
This is gonna be a jam-packed episode because, like I said, we missed a week, but also there's just been a ton of news and a ton of games that we've all kind of been playing, so there's a whole hell of a lot to get to. What do you say we start? There's no cleanup from last episode. We didn't screw anything up, Hunter. Well, we probably did, but nobody noticed it.
Good. That's good to know.
Well, let's go ahead and start with some games that we've been playing. All of us actually have been playing MultiVersus, which finally came. I mean, they're still calling it open beta, but let's be honest, it's like a soft launch.
They released LeBron James,
yes.
So it's the game's launch.
Yeah. When you got LeBron, you were done.
Yeah, they got the LeBron bump.
We have talked about this game before because I got to play the closed alpha back in March, but now we've all played it. So since I've already rammed my mouth a little bit on it, Hunter, how's it hitting you?
I generally really love this game. I play Superman, so it's funny because it's just command grab city.
Yes.
Right now for me. This game's great. I don't think it's a smash killer by any means, but as its own thing, it kind of holds up really well. Yeah.
Like we mentioned last time, the 2v2 really differentiates it from Smash like the Nickelodeon game did not.
Mm-hmm.
It carves its own.
It has voice acting too.
Yeah, that helps too.
Catch in later.
They did, yeah, they added that to Nickelodeon. But how about you, Rachel? How's it feeling to you?
I'm on the opposite side.
No!
I really didn't like it. Yeah, I think it feels like a cheap Smash ripoff, but with shittier characters.
Right. That's fair.
It definitely controls a little looser, so I can see why why it would be jarring. But yeah, I'm really into it, and just for me the biggest thing is this online play in Smash has always been so terrible. I love playing that game locally, but I just can't play it online. It's awful, and it's really.
I don't understand why Nintendo still has not figured out how to do online play.
Yeah.
It just seems to be a foreign concept to them. Like even with Animal Crossing, trying to play Animal Crossing co-op where it makes everything stop when someone visits your island.
Yes. And
then you can't decorate while they're there. You can't do basically anything. And if they crash or suddenly leave, then none of the progress has been saved. It's so dated.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand why Nintendo doesn't know how to do online.
And this is the company that's still using friend codes. I mean,
yeah.
I know.
I thought with the NSO they were gonna step their game up, but it seems like they just don't care.
You would hope so, because they're getting a lot of money pumped into them specifically for their online service. So
yeah, didn't they acquire a company just for online stuff too? Or am I just making things up?
Yeah, you might be making that up. But they have been doing they just acquired that animation company, so maybe there was one in there that I missed. I know they did a partnership with somebody whose name I can't remember right now.
Yeah, it was some. I think they worked on not Pokemon Go, but something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, but in MultiVersus, I've had flawless net play.
I have too. I've noticed on the Xbox though that sometimes I'll get weird lag, and I don't know if it's my internet or not.
Could be.
But on PC, I have great connection. It's very strange.
Are you playing on your Steam Deck or on your desktop?
I'm playing on my desktop. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
I need to load that up on the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
That
That seems like a great Steam Deck game.
I've heard good things about it. But anyway, well, that's when we're split on, I guess. Because I've already put, I don't know, probably 20 hours or so into it, and I'm not planning on stopping. I'm really, really enjoying it.
I'm probably gonna get up in that too.
Yeah, and I just like how every character, Smash has its characters that are more complicated and some that are basic, especially the DLC ones. They've kind of put like passive abilities or sub systems on top. And in MultiVersus, that's almost every character has some crazy passive ability or like subsystem, like LeBron James's ball. Which actually we didn't even talk about. How have you played any LeBron, Hunter?
I have not, but I've played against him, and that ball is crazy.
I have been playing a little bit of him just against bots until I get him leveled up. And I'm not a basketball. I don't know a damn thing about LeBron James because I'm not a basketball fan. But as far as in the game, he's really unique and really. It's a little bit of Lethal League in this game.
Yeah, it's very much a new meta essentially. I've seen him do some crazy stuff like dunks and like.
Yeah.
I think I've seen him ricochet the ball before.
He can.
Like
Yeah. If you do the pass, it'll kind of attach to your teammates and they can throw it. But if you hit an enemy, it'll bounce, and if you can line it up to hit too, it will ricochet off them.
It's pretty nuts.
It is, and his dunk is way overpowered.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll probably turn that down. And then, Morty comes out on August 9th, and Rick is sometime in Season 1. Because of that, like I mentioned with the alpha, that I was watching Steven Universe for the first time because of this game, and now I'm watching Rick and Morty for the first time because of this game. I think I just finished Season 1.
I'm not a Rick and Morty fan, so I'll let you take that one
Yeah, I know. I like Community a lot, and it's Dan Harmon, so...
yeah.
I'm enjoying it so far, and I hear it gets better after Season 1 even, so... I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Anything else with MultiVersus? Or are we moving on?
I'm glad they nerfed Velma.
I'm glad they nerfed Taz.
I am too, because that was bad.
That tornado was killing the game. Now Finn is the biggest problem.
Yeah.
So, and they got Evo coming up next weekend. I think they said they're going to do a big balance patch after that.
Oh, thank
God. Rachel, you've been playing, or you did play, I don't know if you finished or not, Stray.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us
That is a phenomenal game.
Yeah? Did you finish it?
I haven't finished it yet, but it is just... It's so creative. It's not really like any game that I've played before, and it's visually beautiful, and the fact that they're able to tell this story, really interesting story, through just a cat. And the gameplay is really innovative, and it just doesn't feel like a game that's from a first-time developer. This is it's really polished and extremely innovative.
I didn't know it was a first-time developer.
Yeah, I didn't either. And then, I looked them up, and I was like, man, who are these guys? Yeah. And saw that they hadn't made anything before. It just completely blows my mind, because I've, played games that are big AAA companies and stuff, and they can't even touch what the guys behind Stray has done. Yeah. It's a great game. I would super recommend it to anybody.
And it is free on the upper 2 tiers of PlayStation Plus. Not on the basic level, so I don't have those, so I'd have to buy it, which I might do. I'm actually considering doing it on Steam Deck.
I think if you buy it through Steam, I don't know if it's through all the platforms it's on right now, because it's not on Xbox yet, but I think on Steam, some of the
proceeds of the sale does go to shelter.
Oh, that's really cool.
I think I'd read that somewhere. That might be when it first came out, or something. But yeah, I thought I remember reading something about that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, everything I've seen about this game is really interesting. I can't play it because I have a dog who barks at the TV and everything. So I just know that's going to be a nightmare to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to check this one out. I've heard it's now... Boy, I wish I wrote this down so I can get the stat right. But I saw it is I think, #1 or maybe #2 user-reviewed game of the year on Steam. Maybe Elden Ring was #1 and it's #2. But it's definitely It's getting received well. I've seen clips all over Twitter. It seems to be really, really taking off. I think actually it's Annapurna's biggest release ever already, which is crazy because it's only been out like 2 weeks.
That
It's
is
a great
actually
game.
nuts, especially for like Annapurna, who just constantly put out bangers.
Yeah,
Like,
we got some Annapurna news coming up later. And then Rachel and Hunter, both of you have played V Rising.
yes, we have. Rachel, you want to go first? I think I've played the least amount, probably compared to you, but
Oh yeah, I played the hell out of it. I really really liked it a lot. There's still it's early release, right? They're not considering this
Right.
full release.
yeah, it's basically like early access type thing.
Okay, so yeah, you can still tell that there's a lot of areas that it can grow. But for me, I played it on a PvE server because I hate games like V Rising or like Rust where I have to be constantly tapped into the game because someone's gonna explode my base, or I can't sign out for 2 days, or I need to get in and go put fuel in my base. Like, I hate that. A game shouldn't depict my schedule or my life. So I play on PvE, but also because I'd rather play with people than against people. So I didn't really touch any of the PvP stuff, so I can't talk about that. But the core game, when I'm playing it and not having to worry about my base crumbling constantly or people attacking me, it's a lot of fun. There's quests and there's missions to do, and there's always something that you're working towards to grow your base or to collect new materials so that then you can make this new workstation. And there's like these, I can't remember what they're called, but like these main vampires that you hunt, and then by killing them you unlock stuff. But they're really tough. I was not able to solo any of them when I was equal or even slightly above level with them. I always had to team up with people to take them down, and it's a lot of fun. But then once you get through that stuff, like right now I know my base is completely destroyed because I haven't signed in 3 weeks because there's nothing to do now. There's nothing for me to do, no goals, just kind of no reason to sign back in. So I'm waiting for an update that will get me interested again.
That's kind of always the push and pull with early access, right?
Yeah, it's definitely like very sparse, from what I can tell.
I don't know. I don't know, Hunter. I don't know if we've mentioned like what is this game exactly.
So it's kind of like a isometric survival game, I guess I'd call it.
Okay.
With like actiony stuff. You build your castle and you sort of like try to survive. Like the daylight will like burn you or stuff like that.
Yeah.
I played about 30 minutes because I played before work one day and I liked it. I think this would be a thing where it'd be more fun with friends.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Because
then you can combine bases and make like a mega castle.
Right. And I've heard that you can even do like a private server where it's just only your friends. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
And that's what me and my friends have been talking about doing that, but we just like have to find a day we can all do it. I enjoy the combat and stuff. It's fun. I'm just waiting for
More
people
content?
I know schedule to like clear up so I can play more of it at this point.
How does the combat feel in comparison to something like Diablo? Because that's what when I look at footage of this, the action looks Diablo-ish, but
Oh, I say it's completely different.
Oh, okay.
It might have slightly the same camera angle, a little bit, but other than that, I wouldn't say it compares to Diablo in any way or form.
I agree with that. It's more like kind of actiony, I'd say.
oh, well, no, I need to get my hands on this then, I guess.
Yeah,
and-
it's fun.
It is fun. Yeah, it is fun. You will get your ass kicked a lot,
You
though.
will.
Well, that
I
happens to
got-
me at every game.
I got destroyed by a bunch of wolves and a bear once.
Oh,
while I was
yeah.
playing, so-
Oh, yeah.
Have they mentioned anything about it ever coming to console, or is it only ever going to be PC?
Not yet, but I imagine that's going to come to Xbox at some point. Phil Spencer really is into porting this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, it seems like it would work well on a controller.
I think it would, yeah.
Well, I would like to try that. I'm always up for co-op games. I will talk a little bit about, speaking of co-op games, Vermintide 2. I played a little bit of more, and this is a game I've dipped into a couple of times. If you don't know Vermintide, it is very much a Left 4 Dead-ish, except this it's a Warhammer game, and I don't know jack about Warhammer besides this game, but it's melee focused as compared to Left 4 Dead. It's probably about 70% melee. And I've dipped into this game here and there, and every time I do, I always wonder, why am I not just playing this all the time? Because it's really fucking awesome. It is probably, I think this and World War Z are probably the most successful of these. You know, we've had this kind of Left 4 Dead renaissance recently with Back 4 Blood and some other ones. And Back 4 Blood's fine, but I think Vermintide and World War Z have been the cream of the crops. And the reason I was playing it is because the not quite sequel, but they're doing Darktide, which was supposed to come out in September and just got delayed, actually, which is essentially the same thing, but it's now Warhammer 40K, so it's going to be sci-fi themed as compared to, like, you know, medieval fantasy like Vermintide is. So that'll be more shooting. That'll probably be 50-50 between melee and shooting, I'm imagining. And so, yeah, I'm very excited for Darktide, and so I wanted to get back into Vermintide. And they've added, since I even last played, which was probably a year ago or so, they've added more characters. You got to pay for them, but and they brought in all the maps from the original Vermintide. And this thing's on sale all the time. It used to be on Game Pass. It's not anymore, but it's like the Ultimate Edition is constantly on sale. And if you're looking for a good co-op game, I would highly recommend it. They do a great job with, you know, the special units, like the special zombies that were in Left 4 Dead. They're not zombies in this game. They're like rat creatures. And I've been playing as this little elf, and his new class is this crazy ass minigun. That's a lot of fun, and he's got another.
That's pretty sick.
It is really sick. It is a little slow. Like, that's kind of his ultimate ability, and you have to like manually crank it up because it's steam powered, and so that's a little slow, but it should be, right. It's like his best ability. Yeah, and his other class can throw axes, and I don't know. It's I really, really enjoy that game for short bursts. It's dip in and out of, but I need to hurry up and get through it before Darktide comes out. Although now we got more time, because Darktide, it was supposed to be September. They delayed it to November for PC. But but Xbox, they said soon after, so that could end up being early next year.
It's got to compete with God of War.
Yeah. But it's going to be on Game Pass day one, so that'll help. You know,
I think
co-op games do well on Game Pass because you don't have to convince 4 friends to spend $60.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's how I got into Sea of Thieves, is through Game Pass. Because, like, well, I don't have to pay for it, so I might as well play with my friends.
Yeah, I mean, you and I have mentioned this on this podcast. I really need to jump back into Sea of Thieves.
Oh, dude.
I love that game.
Hell yeah.
I haven't.
Only when I have friends to play with. I can't play by myself.
Yeah, when you got that little sloop, it's a little depressing.
Well, I've played. Me and Lisa have played a little. Well, she's played a lot. I've played a little bit. We definitely want to do more, and Hunter's played a bit too. Maybe we'll get a group going in that at some point. Because I haven't done the Pirates of the Caribbean stuff yet.
I haven't either. I definitely see that.
That's really good. Especially the second chapter of that is really good.
I've heard nothing but great things about it.
Yeah, it's fun, especially like if you not just know, because the movies are okay for me. For me, it's really all about the Disney rides.
Yeah.
So if you're a big fan of the rides, there are definitely some parts of those chapters that you're just gonna be like, oh my god.
Yeah, I've seen that footage of like the big thing that they do that relates to that ride. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
I've never actually seen the movies, any of them.
They're okay. They're like fun little popcorn films.
Yeah. Honestly, you're not missing much, Eric.
Yeah.
They never looked like my thing. But,
Eric,
yeah.
Is Vermintide the game with the Witch Hunter class?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't play as the Witch Hunter, but yes, it's in there. There's an elf. That's who I normally play as. Is he? I don't care if he's a troll or an elf. I think he's a troll. He's a little dude.
Yeah.
And then I guess there's also an elf. She's the archer class. I usually just call her the archer, but I guess she's technically.
They're always archer class.
Well, I mean, and actually each character in this game has 4 jobs. So really, there's 5 characters. You play in groups of 4, and then 4 jobs within each character. So yeah, there's the archer lady, who's the elf, the troll, who I am, the witch, or demon hunter. Did you say? What'd you call him? Witch hunter.
Oh, Witch Hunter.
Witch hunter.
Yeah.
And then just kind of a basic soldier dude, and then a sorceress is the 5th. So, yeah, and they all have pretty drastically different playstyles. I really do like that game, and every time I play it, I mentioned this just a second ago, I feel dumb for not playing it more. Sometimes it's tough to get a group of 4 going, but it's really cool. Actually, one big problem is there's no crossplay. That really sucks. And there's not going to be with Darktide either.
That's so lame.
I know. Now, with Vermintide, it was a little bit excusable because it was on the Xbox One, and they could not put as many enemies on the screen between... The PC version has a lot more enemies. With Xbox One, they had to tone it down. But with Darktide, that's not coming to last gen. It's only Xbox Series S and X. And it's not even on PlayStation yet. It's going to be time exclusive on Xbox. But I figure since they're cutting out the last gen version, they could probably make it equal to PC, right? I mean, people are going to be playing it on PCs that are weaker than Series X's.
Can't be that hard.
Yeah. You would hope. But unfortunately, and they did on Darktide, they did leave the door open and said, we're not going to launch with it, and we'll see what happens in the future. So
yeah, fair enough.
Cross your fingers. And the last game on the list here is Conan Exiles, and that is Rachel's.
Yes. Ooh. It's like my new favorite game. But the weird thing is it's not even the game, because I tried the vanilla game, and it's really boring. It's just empty, and it lacks so much that's just like standard, this is how to make a fun game.
It is an MMO,
the vanilla
right?
Conan's no good. I'm playing on a server, which is... I tried a few different servers, and I just couldn't find any that had what I was like looking for, which was PvE, a fun group of people, and that just had a bunch of just a lot of mods, that cool character customization, cool base building, cool weapons. And I found this server called Sanctum of Cthulhu, and it has easily become my favorite group of people I've ever gamed with in all of my millions of years of gaming. Like, it's just ridiculous. And it's the girl that runs the server. She is super active, and she runs like nightly events for everybody on the server. And she's just tons of giveaways, and it's just like a freaking party in a video game every single night. And the different mods that they run make the game, which is basically usually a survival game. You have to like keep up with your food and your water, and you every few days in the game or whatever, a purge happens, and they come and try to beat down your base and all that, basic stuff. But in this server, that stuff doesn't play any role, and it's more of a MMO. So there's like magic, which isn't in the normal game, and skill trees and different ways to level up, and dungeons that the server, and like the girl's name that runs it is Lucky, and that she's created. And so there's always things to work towards, and all these other things that you could do that aren't in the vanilla game. And it really is just some of the most fun I've had in a game in a long time.
It sounds like a blast. And I actually just, while you were talking, it rang a bell, so I looked it up. It is on Game Pass. I just double-checked that.
Is that all
Yeah,
modded
it's on
in?
Game Pass, but I don't think any mods work with Game Pass games.
That's true. Yeah, you're right about that. I know people complain about the Microsoft, the Xbox, what do you call it, launcher on PC all the time. Until recently, I didn't have a gaming PC, so I haven't tried it myself, but I always hear bad things.
It's not great.
Yeah. So it sounds like Steam's the way to go on that too. That's a bummer.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully.
Definitely, just also because of the Steam Workshop.
Yeah.
Steam Workshop, because a lot of mods for these games only are available through Steam Workshop. And just the way it's integrated, like if you join a server, and like Conan, if you join a server that runs mods that you haven't gone and installed yourself into Steam Workshop, it will just do it for you. And it says, oh, you need these, we have these, let's get them installed and working for you and everything. So it's really very user-friendly.
I'd like to check that out at some point.
It's amazing.
I've only dabbled into a couple survival games. I dabbled into Grounded, but I haven't really given one like a really good chance, I guess I would say. Yeah,
I play a lot of them because I'm always really interested in like the first few days I'm playing, and then they always feel like they get really repetitive for me.
Yeah.
And a lot of them don't know how to balance gameplay and grinding, and they get really grindy. But with the server that I'm on for Conan, it just turns it into an MMO. It's a completely different game than what the vanilla is, and I think it's everything that the game should be. The thing with like Conan on PC is most of their player base is not playing vanilla. Most of them are playing with 2 main mods that have come out that have added magic and have added a bunch of end game content. And so that's where most of their player base comes from, is through modded servers.
Do you know, do they actually have the license of the movies, or is it off like comics, or I'm not super familiar.
I think they just licensed the name.
Okay.
Other than that, there's really nothing in the game that references the films.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's. I think it's mostly just the books, honestly.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't know anything about the books. Yeah.
The Conan IP is weird. I know Marvel makes Conan comics now,
Yeah.
and they've actually introduced the Conan character into the regular Marvel universe.
There's a great panel where like Doctor Doom meets Conan and he like calls him weak, and then Doctor Doom has like a mini meltdown.
Wow.
It's pretty great.
That sounds worth checking out.
It is. If anybody out there wants to play, join Sanctum of Cthulhu, and I will load you up with so much free stuff you won't even know what to do.
Actually, that reminds me. I meant to. I completely forgot at the beginning. Like, what is your Twitch channel and your Twitter, and plug your stuff.
Oh,
sorry, I forgot.
So, Twitch and Twitter, I am the Raychul. So just the and then Raychul, but it's spelled weird. It's Raychul.
If you're watching the video version, I'm gonna put it on screen. Yeah, and we can move on to the news now. And boy, oh boy, is there a lot of it.
Oh god.
Where do we start? How about GTA? I hear that game's popular.
Yeah, I hear GA Online's a thing.
Yeah, I might have sold a few copies. So Jason Schreier got out there and had a report about Rockstar Games, and I said the right one, not Rocksteady is Batman, Rockstar is.
Rockstar does,
I
yeah.
always do that.
GTA, Red Dead, yeah.
And he leaked some stuff about the studio and the game. Kind of the big headline that everybody's grabbing onto right now is that it's going to feature at least the first and a mainline GTA. I don't know if any of the spin-offs have ever had one. A female protagonist. Two protagonists, and they're a male and a female, and they're supposed to be a Bonnie and Clyde type duo. Mm-hmm. And some of the shittier parts of the internet are being shitty, and their heads are blowing up about this. And also, there's stuff in this report about how they're really making an effort to, punch down less than GTAs have in the past, and not necessarily going for the easier joke against, minority groups or, trans.
They're becoming less fun. GTA hasn't been good since Vice City.
Oh.
I mean, Vice City was balls to the wall, no prisoners, they didn't care. And it was fun, but now that everybody's trying to make sure they don't offend and make sure we always have our strong female characters, it's just getting boring. I mean, even Saints Row was like, all right, GTA, you're getting lame and boring, so we're just going to make the most outlandish, ridiculous game where you're running around with dildos and everything. And now the new one comes out and they lost all of that. All the personality is gone. It's so sad.
I have not actually. I've never been much of a Saints Row guy, so I haven't looked too deeply at this new one.
Yeah.
I did make a stream out of. They put out the character creator, and I did that. But
I love ridiculous stuff like that. And in Borderlands, just let's make fun of everything. Let's just be ridiculous, and I love it.
It does feel like GTA is becoming like this sort of like hyper corporate thing a little bit. I played a lot of 5 and I look back at that, I'm like, I don't really remember much of it, and I think that's kind of my biggest issue.
I played it.
None of the characters were memorable.
I played it.
Yeah.
Well, Trevor. I remember Trevor pretty well.
Trevor and some things about Franklin I remember.
Yeah, Franklin. I don't remember what his deal was.
I don't know.
I'm not really interested. I love Red Dead 2, but like I'm thinking about GTA 6, and I'm like, I don't know if I have another one in me, guys.
I'm almost surprised with how successful GTA Online has been and how they've lost a bunch of their writers between now and then. I'm almost surprised they're doing a campaign. I thought GTA 6 might just be an online game.
I had heard it was going to be this free-to-play thing, but I think now it's just kind of snowballed into something else.
But as far as this direction, for me, it kind of depends on what they're going for. Like, I hear some people have said in the past that GTA is like a real biting commentary on America. And I'm like, I don't really see it that way. Like, yeah,
I don't know.
It's been, like Rachel said, they've always gone after everybody. And to me, that means, you can be funny, and they have been funny, but you can't really make a serious point if you're not focused on something. If you're just kind of going after everybody, then you're a comedy, and there's nothing wrong with that too. But if they want to make it more serious, if they want to have a point to make now, then I think a focus is good. But it's also very different than what they've done in the past, and I don't know how that's gonna go.
To me, it's just I don't have no problems with just kind of all this. Like, you have a strong female protagonist, all this. I'm fine with that. I don't really care. I think.
I also don't even know if.
Sorry
to interrupt, but I don't know if it'll necessarily be a strong one because all the GTA
Yeah,
almost all of them are all criminal shitheads, right?
Yeah, they're all just kind of like criminals. But like I was saying, like my problem is I just don't really care that much. I think that's what it comes down to. And
I'm curious of what they do, and there's some other things in here I didn't mention. Like it apparently is back to Vice City, and they say they're going to be rolling out more cities over time. So I guess they are kind of splitting. I was gonna say they're kind of splitting the difference between a live service game and a single player campaign. I'm sure they'll also, whatever cities they add will be in both the online and the campaign.
Yeah, I think Rockstar's lost their edge. Like they've been gone since Manhunt. Manhunt was such a good game, and it was fucking crazy. And they got so much bad press, and now they're just little babies, scared to offend anybody. So it's boring. Yeah. And like the female protagonist thing is, I'm so tired of game companies feeling like that's something that they should announce. That, hey guys, our character's gonna be a girl, and that they feel like they should get like pats on the back because they're making a girl their lead character.
Right.
Like, honestly, if your game is good and your character development is good, it shouldn't matter what gender they are. Like, just give me a good character with a great story, and I don't care.
Yeah.
And the people that can't identify with a character because it's not the same gender of them, that's not the game's. That's a problem with the player.
Yes.
If you can't identify with a character just because they're a different gender. I mean, I think I identify with more male characters when I think of my favorite just because they're so well written.
My Commander Shepard was a girl.
Yeah.
I think you're right. There's a weird kind of like tokenization of women where it's like, look at us, we're making this crazy game, and look, it's like a female Jedi, and like, like I said,
look how strong she is, guys.
I have no problem with
We've
that.
We've made her boobs
weird.
smaller. Like, oh, come on. If you're gonna give me a female character, I need that boob slider to be maxed.
Oh, wait till the Bayonetta news we got coming up here in a little bit. But,
oh no, did they desexualize her?
No.
We'll get there.
Okay. I was getting mad. They already did it to my Lara Croft. They better not touch Bayonetta. That'd be so...
But one other thing that was in this that I think we can all agree is a good thing, that Rockstar has really made an effort to eliminate crunch at their studio.
That's good.
They've been notorious for just running their teams into the ground, and it seems like they've really made an effort to do that. And there's some other things in here, like they've tried to make more mental health efforts toward their their team, everything. They're trying to make life better for their studio, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's always good.
Yeah.
That's always good.
And also tied to GTA 6, we had talked on the last episode about how Red Dead Online was winding down.
God.
Also, because of GTA 6, it also appears that a next-gen version, or a patch, I guess, of Red Dead Redemption 2 is no longer going to happen because of GTA 6.
That kind of depressed me a little bit. I love that game.
I mean, it's pretty damn gorgeous already, right? I mean, what else do you need?
At this, like, I can play on my PS5 whenever I want.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter, but like there's a small part of me that's like, oh, I wanted an upgrade.
It was not 60 frames, right?
I don't remember.
I don't think it was. That would have been nice if they could have done that. But what are you gonna do? Speaking of studio culture, that's nice that these tied together. Blizzard, let me pull this up to make sure I get it exactly right. But Blizzard's QA department has officially unionized. And here it is. GWA Albany. Today we announced a new union at Activision Blizzard. QA is currently an undervalued discipline in the games and software industries. We strive to foster work environments where we are respected and compensated for our essential role in the development process.
Oh, Bella. Bella does not like unionization.
This is Blizzard Albany, specifically, who was Vicarious Visions up until a couple months ago. They got absorbed into Blizzard. And yeah, it seems like this is specifically the QA department. I guess not all of Blizzard Albany. But this was mentioned a while back that Activision Blizzard finally had taken a stance of, we're going to be neutral toward it. If they want to do it, we're going to let it happen. They have kind of made some, I don't know, I was going to say subtle, but not even subtle. It's pretty overt. They've tried to union bust, but in a way where they can't get in trouble for it, I guess.
It's like soft union busting.
Yeah.
It's always weird stuff like that. You're like, oh, we're not actually trying. But it's like everyone's not stupid enough to take the bait.
But it seemed like, hey, it didn't work, and at least the QA department at this one studio has started, and that's, I think, the first. I want to say it's the first American studio to unionize. Is there another one that I'm forgetting?
Didn't Ravensoft do it too?
Oh, you might be right. Okay, so the second, and they're both Activision studios.
Yeah, hey.
Who knew when you
Good job,
when you
Kotick.
fucking treat your you treat your people like this, they want out.
Yeah.
And
see what happens.
yeah, and Microsoft, who is going to be the owners of both Raven and Blizzard, sometime next year probably, or maybe late this year, they've also said, hey, that we're not going to stand in the way either. If this happens, it happens. And I just wonder, and we talked about this before, but now it's snowballing, and I just wonder, hey, is it soon going to be, when these studios join Microsoft, then are other studios at Microsoft who are not part of Activision, are they going to want to unionize? Is 343, is Rare, is Bethesda? And then, hey, well, are Sony studios going to want to? And are EA studios going to want to? And is this going to end with, I mean, obviously it won't happen overnight, but is this going to end with a real change in the industry?
I think it will. I think it's just going to snowball at this point. I mean, you look at, I think EA, like a studio at EA unionized, I want to say.
I didn't know that.
Trying to. I want to say there is. But I know that there's other unionization efforts happening. And I feel like this is, for a big company like Activision to do this, it's only a matter of time before, Bethesda unionizes, all these other companies does it. Especially at EA. I look at EA, I'm like, you are, treading the water a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, and Ubisoft, too. I mean, Ubisoft news is up next, and yeah, they are just...
That place is a nightmare.
It's just... it feels like the Activision moments where all this stuff happened, I guess about 2 years ago is kind of when this news started to come out, was a real reckoning. And yeah, it feels like this is kind of the ultimate where this is headed. I would hope anyway, because we've been treating our developers really shitty for a very long time.
Yeah, unfortunately.
What do you think, Rachel?
Yeah, it's everything you guys said.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on this. This is just the beginning, I think. So yeah, there'll be plenty to talk about with that going forward. But now we are going to kind of go in an Ubisoft block here, since we just mentioned them. Boy, they are not doing well. they had their earnings call and things were dire. Avatar, what's the subtitle on that Avatar game?
Is it
Did anybody want this?
Pandora Frontier? By the way, Avatar the game following the movie franchise by being delayed.
Yeah. So this got delayed too, and it said 2023 or 2024. So this is not a small delay. Ghost Recon Frontline, which was a battle royale, Splinter Cell VR, and 2 more unannounced games, all canceled. Things are not going well over there.
Yeah, it's not. I'm starting to wonder if like they're actually going to get bought out or they're just going to shut down eventually.
No, boy. I mean, that would be if they shut down. I believe they have the most employees of like any of the major publishers. So
It's a huge studio. Like they have like company like developers everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, they had that Singapore studio that I don't think is going to survive much longer.
no, I mean,
But-
but they have to put out Skull and Bones. But yeah, and
They do.
what's on their horizon? They got Mario and Rabbids coming soon, Skull and Bones,
Skull and Bones.
and then that Prince of Persia remake's just floating out there. And
Yeah, supposedly the Assassin's Creed game. I don't think
Oh,
that's
that's
going to
right.
be this year.
that's right, I forgot about that. That might be because that was talking about Assassin's Creed Rift. Which was supposedly started as a DLC, and now they're spinning it off into a full game. So that
That always goes well.
yeah, I know. That's the other thing. I think that could make it this year, but also who cares? Like
I like Valhalla, but I look at that and I'm like, I'm good.
that feels
I loved Valhalla. It's just too
It
much
is.
game.
It is
It is
bloated
too
as hell.
long. Same with the new Far Cry. It's too long. I played it for way more time than I've ever should have put into a game, and I would still open my map and be like, what? I haven't barely scratched the surface. Games don't need to be that long.
yes.
Like, holy crap, especially these open world games. Most of them are Ubisoft, where it's open world and it's all the same stuff. It's like, go here and jump off this, go find this vista,
Yep.
go here and interact with this thing. You're doing the same 5 activities a billion times, and they're like, look how giant our game is. But you're like, but it's all the same shit over and over again.
Yes.
Nobody finishes these.
I absolutely
Just-
agree. Jeff Grubb,
ridiculous.
the reporter, has started calling those kind of games. He just calls them map games. And there's a difference between
Yeah.
an open world game and a map game, where you're just kind of checking off
That's
things.
all Ubisoft does anymore.
Yeah.
Is just these giant. So anytime a company comes out and they're like, "Hey, our game's coming out, and our map is bigger than the actual world,"
Yep.
I instantly look forward to that game a little less because I know why am I going to invest this time and money into a game that I know going into it I will never finish.
Absolutely. And that's actually, the one game they have that is not really that formula is Mario and Rabbids, which is why I'm looking
loved
forward
that
to it.
game.
You what?
I loved that
Me too.
game.
Oh,
That was so freaking cute and just the right level of difficulty where I didn't get pissed off constantly, but I wasn't also like in God mode the whole time. It was just the right amount. It was so fun.
I like any game that gives Luigi a sniper rifle, so I'm down.
Yeah.
I don't think he has a sniper rifle in the new one.
Oh, what?
Hey, it looked
Oh,
like
boy,
they
Tommy.
actually, from what I saw, it looked like everybody's kind of weapon changed.
Yeah.
Like Mario now has dual pistols, which is just hilarious to look at. But yeah. What have they released like this year? They did Rainbow Six Extraction, which is that
Yeah.
Far
like-
Cry.
yeah Far Cry. That was
Far Cry.
was that.
That was this year.
I think that was late
it this
last year, but it was with that
Oh.
definitely within the last 12 months. So I mean, if that's how their earnings work 12 months backwards, then that's definitely in there.
that. Ew.
And I don't know how that sold. It probably did well, but even though nobody loved it, it probably still sold a lot, I would imagine.
Is anyone still playing Extraction? 'Cause
Yeah.
I played it for like 5 minutes, and then I was like, I'm good.
I was actually kind of looking forward to it, and I ended up not even touching it. Even though it came to Game Pass, I still just didn't touch it. And they also released Roller Champions, even though they didn't tell anybody it released.
Yeah.
And actually, Roller Champions is the next thing on here. Jeff Grubb, who I just mentioned, he reported that after season 3, which I don't even know if that's the season they're currently on or not, but it's gonna get no more meaningful big content. And then Ubisoft came out, and actually I want to bring up this tweet because they came out and said, that's not true. But
Uh-uh.
yeah, but also they kind of didn't. Like if you read between the lines here,
Oh God.
it said, let's clear it out of the way first. Roller Champions isn't getting canceled, and Ubisoft fully supports it. Which, I don't know. Like, all right.
Do they though?
Yeah, when you're a live service game, you could say, hey, we're not getting any new content, but we're not canceled because we're not turning our servers on. You can still play it. So I don't know. I think they're trying to use a little wiggle room here. What was the other thing it said? Oh, this is my favorite part. It says, it means we are... All right, so... What the Roller Champions dev team is doing is making sure we focus on what our players have told us needs improvement, and that supersedes all other priorities. What does that mean? It means we're extending Disco Fever's length.
What?
What
does that mean?
They don't explain. Disco Fever's lasting longer. I guess.
Is it an event?
I'm
like...
guessing that's the name of their current season, but they don't say.
That also feels like a threat.
Yeah.
So yeah, my kind of guess on here is, and Jeff Grubb also said this, like, look for the space where both things are true, both what he reported and what Ubisoft has reported. I don't think they're going to turn the servers off, but I don't think it's going to get a lot of new content. And
There's no way they're updating this.
Yeah. The thing about it that breaks my heart is that I haven't touched the game yet, but from what I hear, the game's actually fun to play. They launched it like 2 months ago, and it feels like there was no advertising. They didn't tell anybody, hey, this thing's available right now. Go play it. Like, did you guys even know this was out?
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, honestly, when you brought it up in the chat, that's the first time I've ever heard of this game.
They showed it at E3 like 4 years ago, and it took forever to come out.
God.
It took forever to come out, and then it finally did, and they didn't tell anybody. It was so weird.
Oh, great.
It's kind of a roller derby game, but a little bit different because you also you pass the ball around and try to throw it through the hoops, but you're skating around in a rink while you're doing it and body checking each other, and it looks like a lot of fun. But yeah, it just died immediately, and I blame the marketing because I saw no advertising. I saw nothing.
The game's gonna die of disco fever.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then not the second to last Ubisoft story. So much Ubisoft. Beyond Good and Evil 2 lives.
What?
It's going this month, supposedly. It already has, rather, entered into external playtesting. So people outside the studio are actually playing this game right now.
I want to be so excited about this, but I'm also extremely worried because I feel like they have extended this excitement. Like, hey guys, it's happening. You've always wanted this. It's happening for so long.
Yeah.
It's almost as if, we were, what's that game that everybody's talking about, that Valve? It just completely slipped my mind.
Half-Life 3.
Right. That if we ever finally get it, same with the new Beyond Good and Evil, it will never live up to expectations.
Everyone's going to hate it.
Yeah.
And this game's been in development for so long, I feel like the gameplay style and everything, already, if you go back and play the original now, it is so painfully dated.
Yeah.
And so this has been in development for so long that have they been able to keep up with what gamers want now and how games play and all the new technologies we've had since it started? Or is it going to come out already feeling dated?
Well, I'm also pretty sure they lost their director because he got fired for sexual harassment, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So it's like, I want to be excited because I love my original memory of the original, because I did go back and play it again, and I was like, oh god, this is not good. So I wiped the second playthrough from my mind, and I'm like, just remember it for what it was when you first played it. So I want the second one to be that for me, but I'm really worried it won't.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. With all the turbulence it's going through, as a matter of fact, you mentioned how it's been in development for so long. I'm pretty sure Beyond Good and Evil 2 and Roller Champions were debuted at the same E3, I think.
Oh God!
I thought they announced it like 6 years ago. Has it been shorter than that?
I've somewhere between 4 to 6. I can look
I remember
it up.
there was there official announcement, or was that just?
Yeah, there was. It definitely ended their E3 press conference one year, like somewhere between 4 to 6 years ago. Let me see.
I'm a firm believer that you should not announce your game at E3 unless it's the E3 before release.
Yeah.
then announce. Like these
I-
games that are being announced years and years in advance, don't do that because you don't want to get people pre-excited, because when you get people pre-excited and it's prolonged, you're just going to make it impossible for it to live up to that expectations. And that's exactly what happened with, I think, Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
It wasn't a perfect game when it came out, but I think the hype leading up to Cyberpunk is what did it in. That's what killed it, because no way it was going to live up to the expectations that we wanted it to. Now, if it had normal expectations, I think Cyberpunk would have done way better out of the gate.
Yeah. It was 2017. I just looked it up. So that's 5 years.
How many years ago?
5, right?
years. Okay, that's too fucking long for you to announce your game.
I know what's happening now, and this was not the case back in 2017, so they have no excuse, I don't think, of Beyond Good and Evil 2. But I know now a lot of times games get revealed super early because there is such a demand for content and such a shortage of developers that they announce them to try to hire people. Like I know with Perfect Dark, that was a big thing. They announced that when they were super early in development because they needed more people to work on it. So if we announce this, maybe we can get some people who are always been fans of Perfect Dark who will submit their applications so we can build up this team. But back in 2017, we weren't necessarily in this labor shortage that we are now. So I don't know what their excuse was.
Yeah. I remember the weird stuff with Joseph Gordon-Levitt being involved in
Right,
this game.
right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Oh my god.
This game's the weirdest shit.
Because that's how you can tell how old it is, because he was relevant back then.
Oh.
He had a career.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suspect when we do see this, it might not be anything like what they first showed. And the footage that they showed was... there's the E3 cinematic trailer, but then they kind of put out some gameplay stuff later, and it was crazy ambitious. It was we were just talking about big open worlds. They were bragging about this thing being almost the size of No Man's Sky or something.
Yeah, and that's what
I
did
don't want
it in.
that.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
I
No.
bet you that's not what's going to
That's
end
too
up
big.
happening. There's no way.
That's too big.
And this was all with the old directors, so I bet when we see this thing, it's going to be drastically different, and probably smaller, which is good, I think. All right, so now finally the last Ubisoft thing for real. Jeff Grubb again. We mentioned him a lot on the show because he's probably the best video game reporter out there. He talked about a spin-off to Immortal Phoenix Rising. Did anybody play Immortal Phoenix Rising?
I did.
I did.
I kind of liked it, honestly.
I loved it. I loved the humor. I loved the world. It wasn't too big. It was the perfect size, and the different characters and the story, and it had personality. It had a lot of personality, and I like that.
Well, then this may or may not be good news to you. It's not getting a proper sequel, but it is. They're doing a spin-off now with... He said it's going to be a different art style, but still one that they think is very unique and special. What that could be, who knows? And also, the setting in this one is more inspired by myths of Hawaii and Polynesia. And it's still in super early pre-production, so he said don't expect it till 2025.
Yeah.
Well, let's not talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't tell me about it
don't
that
show
far
it.
in
But
advance.
to be fair, this wasn't Ubisoft. This was Jeff Grubb digging up dirt. They have not
This is a
officially...
leak.
Yeah, this is the
So-
leak. Yeah. Hey,
I
I'm
hate.
sure we'll
ugh.
see that.
this could...
I don't think people, especially guys as big as Jeff Grubb, should be reporting on leaks because that can really hurt a company.
It can. There's a push and pull to it. Because this was part of his broader show where he's not just hey, look what I know. He's this was him kind of talking about the state of Ubisoft and saying, here's what they're trying to do to change their fortunes. So he tried to make it part of a larger story. Whether he succeeded in that or not is, up to everyone's own interpretation.
Interpretation.
Yeah. We got another Jeff Grubb leak coming up in a minute, actually.
Oh, God. This one I want to talk about really badly.
But how since you guys liked Immortal Phoenix Rising, how does it being based more around Hawaii and Polynesian myths sound to you?
I like it. I mean, I don't know anything about Polynesian
Yeah,
myth.
me neither.
But Moana's pretty cool, so...
Yeah, I just don't think whatever the Hawaiian or Polynesian myths are, there might be a reason why they're not as popular
Yeah.
as other mythologies, and maybe it's just because they're not as rich in lore. So I don't know. I mean, it might be fun, and it might be like tiki and silly and stuff, which I'm down for.
He did say also that, I didn't write it down here, but it is going to keep the theme of having gods talking to you all the time as narrators and stuff like that.
Cool.
So they do seem like they want to keep it silly.
I like silly.
All right, that's it for Ubisoft, I think, right? Is there no more Ubisoft things on this list? That's a hell of a lot of things. And yeah, not going well there. I do expect them to get bought before too long. Although, also, if we're going to head to a recession, maybe there'll just be less purchases in general. I don't know. In which case, that'd be really bad.
I'm not an economic expert.
Yeah.
So,
I only pretend to be. Another leak, though, is a Black Panther game over at EA.
yes. I want this.
Well, I may or may not, be depending on these details, because it sounds... All right, so this sounds like it's going to be from EA, a new studio within EA who is headed by an ex-VP at Monolith.
Monolith,
Yeah,
yep.
Shadow Mordor and Shadow of War.
How many studios do they need?
Yeah, exactly.
Just say, hey, we're going to make this game, and then get one of the billion studios they have to make it.
And it's single player, and so, but this is the part that's concerning to me. Apparently what happens is the Black Panther dies, and...
Oh, okay. Nope. All right.
Well-
Already.
Done.
well,
Out.
but hang on. Because Black Panther dies, and you become the new Black Panther. But does...
That's what they're doing with all of these games now.
But does that mean that King T'Chaka died, and you play as T'Challa? Or does it mean that T'Challa dies and you play as your own
Or
original character?
if you believe the big leaks and rumors, is M'Baku. Are you M'Baku?
Oh, what?
So
Wait, for the movie or the game?
for the movie.
Oh, well...
That's just one of them. I'm obsessive, so I've read all of them. So
But, well, I don't think this is necessarily based off the movie. I think it's like Avengers was and everything. So I just wonder if you're playing as T'Challa and your father died, or if T'Challa dies, you're playing as somebody else. If you're not playing as T'Challa, I'm out.
with no like time frame,
Yeah.
so to speak, I can't tell you what's going on
I
in
know.
this game. But I'd like to see it,
Oh yeah, I mean, I'll definitely
So-
want to see it, but man, if they're killing T'Challa, especially when Chadwick Boseman died in real life,
Yeah, that's also
that would be... I would not be excited for that.
Too soon, EA.
If it's a Black Panther game, I want to play as the Black Panther, not my Black Panther. I don't care about my Black Panther.
It's Marvel, so it has my money regardless. So that's just who I am as a person. So
Yeah, I mean, hey, I sit here in my Daredevil shirt with my Captain
Yeah,
America shield up here.
exactly.
I can't see it in the camera, but it's up there. Yeah, so anyway, I just hope it's T'Chaka who dies and you're playing as T'Challa. I'd be very disappointed if it's
We'll
the
see.
other way. Yeah.
Poor T'Chaka.
I know.
I mean,
I just hope it's him who dies.
yeah, it was T'Chaka.
Every superhero has to have their parents die, right?
Though, Eric, when we were excited about Midnight Suns when it was getting leaked, they were talking about how there's an OC character and we thought it was going to be S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, and it turned out to be not to be. So we don't know exactly
True.
what the
Yeah,
fuck's
no,
going on.
you're absolutely right. These details could... Number one, he could either have some details wrong, because it's... he hasn't seen any footage himself. It's a game of communication. Somebody in the
Yeah.
studio tells him and blah, blah. Or they could change between now and then, because this is very early. So, hey, maybe EA will hear this and say, maybe we really need to make this about T'Challa. Not, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't mean here this show, but I just mean the...
No, they're listening.
Yeah,
Eric,
okay.
they're
All right,
listening.
fine. How you doing, EA?
I'm deep cover for EA right now. This is a sting operation.
The Knights of the Old Republic remake. Oh, boy.
Oh God.
Has been
this is bad.
shelved.
Yay.
Yay!
Yes, because it was really, really good. We don't need a remake. Like I'm so against remakes and stuff because it's just give me a new IP or a new story. Quit remaking things that were really good because 9.5 times out of 10 the remakes are never as good as the original.
I'm just not I'm not as into this game because Aspire's making it, and I was like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't be giving these after the GTA thing. I'm like,
hesitant on these like remaster
Yeah.
companies. Like, we're gonna make this big ambitious remake, and I'm like, you guys are gonna try to. That's what you're gonna do.
Right. Well, that's just like what The Last of Us is getting its remake or whatever.
Yeah.
What? Why? There's
There-
no need to get that game remade. Zero reason. It's
There is-
just ugh.
There is like a remastered version you can play on your PS5 right now, and it runs great.
So let me.
It's not that old of a game.
It's not. It came out in 2013. Like,
Like,
it's-
how many different ports or remakes of Skyrim do we need? Like, holy crap! Come on.
Let me
Come on,
quickly.
let's make some new stuff.
Let me quickly run down what happened here with Knights of the Republic. As Hunter mentioned, it's Aspire who was in charge of this remake, and they're the studio. This is their first like big game of their own accord. They
Yeah.
normally do ports and stuff. Like they've been bringing back all those old Star Wars games to Switch, and even like Republic Commando came to PS4 and things like that. And this was the first time they were going to kind of do their own project, and they had shown a vertical slice to both Sony, because this was a timed exclusive with PlayStation, who actually I think Sony was even going to publish it, and Lucasfilm or LucasArts, and they were reportedly they were very excited about it and they were very happy with their work, but I guess Sony and Lucas were not, because right after they showed it to them, 2 directors got fired, an art director and I think the main director of the game.
oh god.
And they basically just shelved the game. And Aspire now has they've told their employees, hey, we're looking for other work. In the meantime, KOTOR's on hold. Now, Aspire does now belong to Embracer Group. Who doesn't? And another group that belongs to Embracer is Sumo Digital, who was helping out on this. Sumo Digital's huge. They do a lot of
Yeah.
support work, but they've also made some of their own games like Sackboy.
They made Crackdown 3, right?
Yeah. That's not such a great one, but
Oh, see, I liked it.
yeah, I was gonna say I actually had fun with it. It wasn't an amazing game.
That's all Crackdown is supposed to
Yeah,
be.
right.
And it was
It's-
way better than Crackdown 2. But like that's all Crackdown is supposed to be, is just stupid fun.
But
Yeah, it's
There's
just,
no
It's
purpose.
a mindless game that you kind of just play with a podcast.
Just
That's
go
how I
get
played
all
it.
the orbs.
it's especially fun in
Yeah.
co-op.
Yeah.
But so kind of the rumor is that maybe Sumo Digital will take over this completely and Aspire will get kicked off, which would probably be better because Sumo Digital, besides Crackdown 3, they also made Sackboy, A Big Adventure, which was very good,
Yeah.
and World War Z, which I mentioned before. I love that game. So they're
That game's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that one too.
they're a good
Yep.
team. So if Sumo Digital were to take this over, I think that'd be good news, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't hate it. I mean, at this point, I think it was just a bad idea to begin with.
I think Aspire got in over their heads. They were not made
true.
for this. And I know, like we mentioned earlier, everybody's trying to hire more developers, and that's why they announced this thing so early, because they needed a much bigger team than they had. But I just don't think it worked out.
Why not give it to BioWare?
Well,
Yeah. Hey, I suggested that the other day
Yeah.
in the Discord. I was like, hey, maybe we could see what they're doing.
right. Well, what they're doing
Dragon
is
Age.
Dragon Age and then Mass Effect.
Dragon Age, right? But
I can't wait for new Dragon Age.
Actually-
but I think BioWare would be great for KOTOR.
It is.
yeah.
I mean, I don't really think we need a remake because it was so good, and
I love that
like, remakes always make me really nervous, especially for games I love.
It is weird.
But I would trust BioWare with it.
It is weird that EA and BioWare seem to have no involvement with this at all.
Yeah, considering they made the original.
Yeah.
You know,
like,
it's
do they not own it?
It
or
is
what?
crazy.
I mean, obviously they don't own Star
What was
Wars.
the Star Wars game that Emmy Henning was working on? Remember she
Oh,
left
she-
Naughty Dog and was supposed to be working on a Star Wars game.
She's working on Ragtag, that game that got canceled.
Yeah, but now with her
Oh.
new team with Skydance, I believe she's doing a Marvel thing, and I think they also said she's doing a Star Wars.
Yeah, they're doing
thing,
Star
right?
Wars too.
Yeah. So
So who knows?
I will pay attention to anything she puts out because
Yes.
she's the whole god behind Uncharted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone who
She's
makes
amazing.
Uncharted is good.
I
honestly.
adore her. I have gone to like talks that she's done. I've interviewed her, and she is an extremely smart and well-spoken person. I love her.
yeah, I just brought up the story that was announced back in April. Yeah, they're doing a Star Wars game.
Nice.
Skydance New Media. I wonder if that'll be if she can bring any of her ideas for the game the Star Wars game she was doing with EA over to this, or if that might not be legal. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how that IP works for canceled games.
Yeah. Yeah, they're so that's a like Skydance New Media. Have they put out any games yet? Like, it's weird that
Not yet.
they've announced 2 big ones, and they're
Well, the thing is, they also do television and film too.
right. Yeah, well, I don't know, like, where. All right, the game studio Skydance New Media, and the bigger company just Skydance, or I don't know. Now I don't know
I don't know, honestly.
Now I'm just talking out my ass here because I don't know how that works. But my point is, I don't think that studio has put out anything yet, and for them, and
So-
Amy Hennig's amazing, no doubt about that. But
So Skydance New Media is the game division.
okay,
Skydance Media is like the overall company.
so for them to tackle 2 big games, a Marvel game and a Star Wars game at the same time, is crazy.
I mean, hey, it seems like it's a big company. So
Yeah, no doubt. And hey, if they got the money to hire Amy Hennig, they're all in,
that's true.
because
Yeah,
she does not come
I'd hire
cheap,
her.
and she shouldn't.
I remember when
Damn right.
they announced that Marvel game from her, that Kevin Smith had this like live stream where he was talking about I think his co-host Mark Bernardine or someone
Bernardin.
he is, like-
Bernardin.
Bernardin,
I love
yes,
that
sorry. Is working on that game with her, and there was like someone in the chat correctly guessed what the game was, and they never said what it was.
Oh,
I
damn. I want to
I
know.
think that there was like Daredevil and Fantastic Four, and I was like, so I don't know what's going on, but I'm really interested in seeing what she
I want a
does.
Daredevil game so bad. But I
Especially with if it was Daredevil, that'd be pretty sick.
if I could pick anybody for Daredevil, I'd actually pick Ninja Theory because the audio, the spatial audio they did in Hellblade with
Yes.
Daredevil senses
Yeah,
could be
absolutely.
really fucking cool.
It'd be amazing.
Anyway, so yeah, Knights of the Old Republic. Is this thing ever going to come out, or is it dead? What do you think?
I don't think it's coming out,
Damn.
honestly.
Yeah.
That's a bummer. I mean, no, whatever. More EA stuff. This is not a leak. This is from their job listings. They are hiring on an Apex Legends single-player game.
Okay.
That is, you might say, hey, wasn't there 2 single-player? Well, actually, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
1 multiplayer only, and then a single-player game in the Apex Legends universe called Titanfall.
Yeah.
But it's apparently not Titanfall.
Is it a first-person shooter?
It's gonna be a
Does anyone know? Or is
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure they listed a first-person shooter, but
it- okay.
no Titans.
Damn.
I know. We're never gonna get a Titanfall 3, right?
No, the dream's dead.
I
You'll
know.
have to let it go.
They've given lip service to it. I think the way to do it, I think you make a game called. Well, okay, I don't know how much time has passed between Titanfall 2 and Apex Legends as far as in the storyline. Is there overlap there? Does anybody know?
I have no
Okay.
idea. I've never played a
I
game
didn't.
of Apex Legends.
I didn't even know they were related.
Oh yeah, they're in the
They're-
same universe.
They're in the same universe? Yeah, I
Yeah.
have no idea.
What I think would be neat is if they called it Titanfall 3 : Apex Legends, and they made it so it's a first-person shooter, but you have 2 companions at all times, similar like Mass Effect, and they are the Apex Legends from that game brought into this as your party members and stuff. And then I think that's the way you get more attention, because Apex Legends is so much more successful than Titanfall ever was, unfortunately. I mean, not unfortunately that Apex Legends was successful, but that Titanfall wasn't.
All I really know about Apex Legends is that Mirage is cool as hell. That's all I know.
I don't play Battle Royale, so I didn't play it. It seems awesome if you're into that kind of thing, but I love Titanfall 2 so damn much. Anyway, that's going to happen at some point. Respawn's awfully busy. They got Star Wars coming out next year. Then they're kind of co-developing a Star Wars XCOM-like with another studio.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's from former Firaxis people who left Firaxis and have started a new studio.
That's cool.
I think there's a 3rd Star Wars game too. I can't.
Fallen. No, Jedi.
Jedi
Order
Survivor was the
Survivor?
second one. I was talking about that being
Yeah.
one, the XCOM one. I think there's a 3rd one. I don't remember.
It was like a first-person shooter, but they didn't really say much else about
Okay.
it.
And now this, and plus of course Apex Legends is always ongoing too. Respawn is a very and they're taking over Battlefield, aren't they? Or maybe it's just that guy.
I think it's that guy.
Yeah,
I don't
well-
think the studio's doing it.
Okay. What is that guy's name now? Now that's going to drive me crazy. Oh, well.
Vince Zampella?
Yes, thank you.
Is that really it? I
Yes,
just
no,
guessed.
you're absolutely right. It's Vince Zampella. Anyway, busy Respawn. Xbox and PlayStation both had their quarterly financial calls, and both of them dropped big, relatively big in revenue this quarter, which is not too unexpected because there just hasn't been many AAA games.
Yeah, nothing's really come out.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Anything to say much more about that? It's just,
No.
yeah, it's kind of the way it is. Like, you can freak out about it, but, and of course, you know, the console wars on both sides saw this news and were saying, see, PlayStation's a failure, see, Xbox a failure. No.
Both companies are going to be fine
Yeah,
regardless.
yes.
It doesn't really matter.
They're both doing exceptionally well overall, just this quarter.
Yeah.
And I expect this coming quarter is going to be the same way. Really, October is where things going to pick up.
Yeah.
PlayStation also announced a program called PlayStation Stars, which is their like loyalty program, rewards program. If you spend money or do accomplish... Oh, did you not see this at all?
I did not.
Okay, and that, fortunately, since we're behind, this is now a couple weeks old. But you know, you spend money in their store, and you do you get what do they call them? Trophies. There, I was just gonna say achievements, but that's the other one, and they give you rewards. Like Microsoft has that, and that's fine. But where PlayStation goes in a different direction here is they say they're going to give you digital collectibles.
That's what Steam does.
Yeah.
Achievements.
Oh, NFTs?
And, yeah, and then when you buy games, you get points, and they go into your Steam wallet, and then there's tons of digital collectibles and trading cards and profile things that you can do and all sorts of stuff you use your points for.
It seems like a good time to bring back PlayStation Home to display these things.
Yeah, we should.
So that we can all just go to the hub again and then just AFK dance.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all anybody
And
did. Or
That was the-
you would get the people that would try for hours to jump onto something that you normally couldn't jump to. They would jump there and then they would be there for months and they would never move. They would just see if anybody walked by and mentioned, "Wow, dude, how'd you get up there?"
And especially with you know, PlayStation VR 2 come out. It seems like PlayStation Home would be a perfect fit for that.
Yeah, the original metaverse needs to come
Right.
back.
Right. Everyone wants a metaverse, and they used to have one. Bring it back.
Yeah, it existed. Take that, Zuckerberg.
They were very quick to say, though, like the day they announced this, very quick to say, these are not NFTs. Dear God, they're not NFTs.
Smart.
Yes.
Very smart.
Alright, I guess that's all there is for that. The Kirby's Dream Buffet. Now, like I said, this is a couple weeks old now, but we didn't get to it before.
I just love that
I
title.
know. And I love the look of the game.
Yeah, it looks cool.
They announced this thing random. There's been like this weird, they're not doing, or they did a third-party Nintendo Direct, but there's no like real, proper Nintendo Direct. But they've been just making announcements on Twitter for the past 2 weeks. Crazy. And this game looks like they call it a racing game. But it also looks like it has some Fall Guys elements in there. For sure, there's definitely a bunch of mini games. I don't know if those mini games are necessarily part of the race or if it's like a separate mode, almost like a Super Monkey Ball used to have those mini games off in different.
Super Monkey
Yes.
Ball.
Man, I
Love those games.
played it on GameCube, Super Monkey Ball, and loved it. And now played the remake recently. It's so much harder than I remember it being.
It is. It's
Yeah.
very difficult.
I did not remember it
Yeah.
being that hard.
I love, GameCube. Super Monkey Ball was the best.
So Kirby's Dream Buffet is this summer, supposedly, but not much more time left in this summer.
The Fall Guys killer.
Yeah.
Green Buffet.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I do kind of wonder if it's going to be thrown in with Nintendo Online, like, you know, like Tetris 99 was and Mario 35, that kind of thing.
I don't know.
Maybe with the expansion pass. Like, maybe, all right, maybe the upper tier, the expansion pass, get it for free and everyone else has to buy it, like the Mario Kart DLC.
Yeah,
All I
I-
want from Nintendo is new Animal Crossing anything, because,
Uh,
man, they dropped the ball with that.
They did.
I think they're done. Did they?
I don't understand, because everything we have in the new Animal Crossing is, except for being able to decorate outside, everything is what we already had in the vanilla version of past Animal Crossings. They'll release it and they'll be like, look, now you can do this. It's like, cool. I could do that in the basic version of Animal Crossing already, dudes. Like, oh my gosh, they had like all of the world in their hands during the pandemic with Animal Crossing. That was the one game that everybody, gamers and non-gamers, were playing.
Oh yeah.
And begging for content, and Nintendo was just like not even registering
Right.
that people were. We will give you money, Nintendo. Here it is.
They did the one big,
millions of dollars. We just want content and nothing.
They did the one big expansion, and that was it. Like that could be like The Sims. How many updates is The Sims 4
God, The Sims is still coming out with expansions. They just announced a new one.
Yeah.
I know. And it's not like they don't have any ideas, because just spend 30 minutes on the Animal Crossing Reddit and there are tons of ideas to grow the game, and not just... I mean, I liked the new expansion they did come out with, but then it was just like, cool, I'm just redecorating houses over and over again. I want actual new stuff that I haven't already done in Animal Crossing already.
Yeah, I ended up playing Animal
But
Crossing when it came out for like 2 weeks, and I thought I was going to play it for months and months and months. It just didn't happen.
I played so much Animal Crossing when I was younger,
Mm-hmm.
and like now, when I played this one, I forget what it's called, New Horizons. When I played this, I played it for like a month, and then I forgot about it for about a year, and now I can't go back and face my villagers.
All the
So,
weeds that will have taken over your town.
I can't do it.
Yeah, no,
Can't do it.
I played every single day for, man, maybe 9 months. But then I just got bored because I didn't have anything else to do.
Yeah.
I'm not going to terraform my island anymore because it's perfect the way it is. Like, nothing else to do.
Nintendo's such a backwards ass company.
It's very strange. Like, Animal Crossing also lends itself to that kind of thing, because like they could just add new the furnitures and like new villagers, and it's so weird that they have not done that.
One thing I thought they would do is kind of as they put out other first-party games, they would add costumes from it into Animal Crossing, and I think they did a Mario event, and that's kind of it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very strange.
Well, there's tons of furniture that has been in the past Animal Crossing games. Like, the most popular one is the Rococo furniture. That's everybody's favorite. They've never released it in the new one. It didn't come in the game, and everybody keeps waiting, thinking they're going to announce it. It didn't come with the expansion. So it's like, people are asking for this. It would take you nothing to make it and give it to them, but you won't. Why? Why?
They're
Don't you want these people's money?
They're just so backwards. Like, since I've got the Steam Deck, I've been putting a bunch of old Nintendo games on it, and like it just baffles me why they aren't putting these games on Switch. Like, I know they have their service, and it's got some stuff on it. I don't mean to like completely shit on it, but there's so much more they could do with it. Why aren't GameCube games on there? Why aren't DS games on there? Why aren't Game Boy Advance games on there?
Yeah, the no DS games on anything depresses me so much, because I want those games so bad, and they won't.
Dude, they run great on Steam Deck.
I
God,
know.
I would love Eternal Darkness to come back out. That's okay. That's a remake. I would be 100% behind. just all they have to do is just upgrade the graphics. I would be just so happy, because Eternal Darkness was like one of my favorite GameCube games.
Maybe I can make that
would
happen.
Also take a reskinned like remake Crash Bandicoot style Eternal Darkness. That'd be awesome.
Maybe I can make that happen because Dennis Dyack accepted my Facebook friend request.
All right, man. You're an insider. You gotta do it.
Yep.
I saw him on there. I was like, I don't know if this is really him, and there's no way he's gonna accept my invitation, but I did it, and
He's
he did.
not in jail?
No, he's not in jail. So hey, God bless you, Dennis Dyack. Crazy son of a bitch. Bayonetta 3. Here we go. All right, so this had the trailer, and they announced it's out October 28th, but that's not the fun news.
Thank God.
The fun news is they're putting on a mode. All right, so the normal mode is just as sexy as it's ever been, but
Default mode.
yes, they also have what they call naive angel mode, which covers her up.
This is so good.
Whenever she does her attacks, and her hair still goes flying and everything, but she keeps her costume on all the time.
The one thing that kind of disappoints me is if they were like the fact that they did this, I wanted new animations where like giant black bars all over her body. Just insane censorship.
Dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, who's playing Bayonetta and going, I would love the game if she wasn't so naked?
Yeah, like
no one's saying that. And if they are, they weren't playing Bayonetta in the first place, so why are we catering to them? Same thing with, like, the whole desexualization of, like, DOA.
Yeah.
No one who actually plays DOA is complaining because we're all playing DOA because of the boobies. That's why we're playing. No DOA game is actually good. We're playing it for the boobs. And so there's no actual DOA gamer out there that's like, well, the boobs really offend me, guys. We gotta tone those down. No. So tailoring your games to the people that already aren't playing them is not going to suddenly convert them.
I'm glad
I just want to shake these developers. Just shake them.
I'm glad this one's optional, though. You can still play it.
Yeah, that...
Yes.
I think it's funny
that
it's
yes.
there,
They know
honestly.
better. I think they know better. I think they know that they would lose 100% of their players if they were like, no sexiness.
Kamiya knows the second he takes any of that out, there would be riots.
Yes.
So
Yes.
So then I think I know the answer to this, but Rachel, which mode are you going to play it in?
Yeah. Yeah, if there was an adult-only version, which if it was on PC, I'm sure the mods would be there day one, I would play that version.
Did Bayonetta 2 come to PC, or is that only ever stayed on Nintendo?
That's a Switch exclusive. Okay. I think it's mostly because it's not as popular as 1.
It was Wii U first, but yeah, it's Nintendo.
Yeah,
and so
it's like the Devil May Cry 2 of the series where people aren't as into it.
So this one won't come to PC either, then I guess.
I'm sure if it's received well, maybe, but I don't know. I don't see that happening.
Oh well. No titty mods then.
Yeah, well, they'll find a way. Trust me.
Yes.
You cannot stop horny.
I mean,
that's like the one factor of the universe.
There are
It's like in Conan, you can have they're called thralls, but basically they're like workers that work on your stations. And all of mine are hot naked chicks. I want to be the Playboy Mansion of Conan Exiles.
All right.
It's awesome.
Speaking of backwards ass... Oh, actually, no, one thing I did want to mention on that. They did additional... After they announced this thing, they did some additional interviews, and they were asked, hey, did Nintendo press you to do this? And they said, no, Nintendo is like... They've never had a problem with the nudity or the sexiness. This was our decision at Platinum. We think it'll... I don't, they said something like, okay, since the Switch is portable, if you're playing this out of your house, maybe you'll want to not have that.
Oh, like if you're on a subway playing Bayonetta.
Maybe you'll want to have that mode on.
I think that's kind of fair.
Yeah.
But like, at the same time, half the fun is the lewdness of the game.
That's the answer their PR team came up with.
Yeah, probably right about that. The weird Nintendo shit, though. March 27th, 2023 is the last day to buy anything on the Wii U or 3DS stores. The date has already passed of you being able to add funds. You still can if you find cards out there in the wild, which I think aren't too hard to find, but you can't just like put in your credit card and add funds to your Wii U or 3DS store balances now. And then whatever funds you do have on there, the last day to spend them is March 27th, and then those stores are gone. Nintendo, preservation is best friend.
I didn't even realize that they were still up.
Yeah, honestly, I was about to say, oh no, my Wii U and 3DS, these two consoles I still use.
3DS, I bet there are still some people doing. Wii U, no, but I bet there are still some 3DS users out there, right?
I mean, I still have mine. I play every once in a while. I'll play like Mario and Luigi on it, but that's about it.
But like, what are you gonna spend money on? There's nothing new coming out, so
No, but
virtual console games, I guess, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
Like,
definitely. I mean, the Wii U had a great virtual console. I didn't use it very much just because I didn't want to play the Wii U, but the library there was really good.
Yeah, it was great. Play Earthbound.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Well, I put it on the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
And
see?
yeah, I know that's the thing. Actually, I used to be pretty anti-piracy, like 100% of the time, but now when shit like this happens, just like, come on, guys. If you're gonna make it a pain in the ass to play your old games, then I'm just gonna make it happen.
You're
myself.
asking for it at this point, like.
Skate is going to be free to play It's gonna have crossplay and cross save, and
What is?
yeah, the new
What's the name of the game?
Skate.
Oh, the
Yeah.
skateboarding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's not Tony Hawk, I'm there.
No.
Yeah, the Skate's always been more of the technical of the two. I never played Skate, so I'm kind of speaking as an outsider here on this, but
The realistic skateboarding video game.
sort of
Yeah.
more realistic than Tony Hawk anyway. That's for sure.
Yeah, but again, it's a realistic video
Right.
game for
Part of-
skateboarding.
Part of the charm of Tony Hawk is that it is ridiculous.
Oh yes, absolutely. If it were that, I mean, there's a reason I didn't play Skate. Like, and the people who did love it. I'm sure it's a great game, but it's just not something I'm looking for.
I was one of the. I'm also a Tony Hawk
Yeah.
purist, so I never got into it.
But when this thing was announced, it's free to play. Predictably, the kind of hardcore Skate fan base that had been asking for this game for a decade freaked out. This is not what we wanted, but
We don't want free to play.
I think that's the way.
Make me pay for it.
I think that's the way you can make Skate successful
Yeah.
now. Like,
I don't know if I'd pay like $80 for Skate.
I damn sure.
I wouldn't pay $20. I wouldn't pay $10.
Yeah.
No.
I agree.
It sounds like this game's going to be based a lot on community creations, you and your friends getting in there and making your own skate parks. And yeah, you need free to play for that. Like, it's
Yeah,
it's
the
like
way you make
Roblox.
money is you make them pay for cosmetics.
Right.
Yeah.
Gamers will pay fucking tons of money for cosmetics.
Absolutely. I put money into MultiVersus already.
I have two.
And this is going to have cosmetics on your character, but also on the parks you create. You can put posters on it or whatever.
Smart.
Yeah. And they've promised no gameplay altering things, so yeah, it does sound entirely cosmetic. Maybe that'll mean parts for
No
your...
pay to win.
Yeah. Maybe that'll mean parts for your skate park, or maybe not. I would hope not. I hope you get all the parts you want, just you can make it look different.
I'm sure it's like skate decks and stuff like that.
Oh, for sure, on your character.
Yeah. Sprays and all the stuff that they
I
call
hope-
those things.
But
I hope that there's a LeBron James skin, because that's what I want in every free-to-play game now.
But what I would just say to the hardcore skate people is it was either this or this game's was never going to happen. This is the only way you can make skate successful in this era. Sorry. Deal with it. Grounded, which I think we mentioned that before. It's getting Go ahead.
The Obsidian game.
Yes.
That I keep forgetting this Obsidian game.
All right. Speaking of busy studios, Obsidian's got Grounded coming into 1.0 soon, and just because it's coming into 1.0 doesn't mean support's going to stop on that. So they got that.
No.
Pentiment comes out in a couple months, and then The Outer Worlds 2 and Avowed. Like, they're crazy busy too.
Outer Worlds 2, that was the best game trailer I think I've ever seen in my entire
That
life.
was great.
So good.
I think it was like crying. I was laughing so hard at the trailer. Oh, God, I love funny shit.
Grounded is becoming an animated show, and they got one of the writers from Star Wars: The Clone Wars attached.
I'm in.
Wasn't it a movie? I thought it was like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids or something, right?
Yeah, I mean, the premise of the game is very much like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Yeah.
It's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. So it's going to be Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the TV show. I
I'm
liked
into that.
Grounded, but I couldn't play it because of the spiders.
Yes,
Same.
that's-
I did play it for a night, and it freaked me the fuck out.
So
Even
they
with
have-
arachnophobia mode.
Yeah.
I
that's
was
the
like, I
thing.
still know what the fuck you are. You're not fooling me, you silly jelly bean. I know you're a spider, and so I was even scared of the jelly beans.
The arachnophobia mode does not help because it's
No.
just 2 circles and like a bunch of eyes, and I hate it.
Yeah, you still know what the fuck it is.
Yeah, like
So, even if it was a cute, fuzzy kitty cat, I would still know it was a spider in disguise, and I would hate it.
It
So, like, I
also
couldn't
doesn't-
play it.
It doesn't help that the spiders are completely silent in the game, so like they'll appear behind you.
They are some of the scariest spiders. Why does every freaking game known to man need spiders?
Yeah.
But those in Grounded are some of the scariest I've ever seen. Like,
terrifying.
I was having physical reactions to them. I
it
couldn't.
made my stomach drop every time.
Yeah.
I hated
I
it.
can't do it.
Oh, God.
I hate
I think they added a new big predator to that game too. I can't remember what it was now. Some other crazy bug.
Nothing's as bad as a
Yeah,
spider.
I know.
Snakes,
Was it-
cockroaches, I don't care. Spiders,
Wasn't it a wasp?
Oh, you might be
Something
right.
crazy like that?
Yeah, it might have been that.
That's even terrifying. to me.
My
honestly.
Nah.
my mom is scared of wasps, like deathly afraid of wasps. And I don't love them, but spiders are much
I
worse.
hate them.
My last apartment
Can't-
was full of brown recluse, and I hated it.
Oh.
Glad I don't live there
Hate
anymore.
I wouldn't have lasted another day.
I would have
no.
burned down the complex.
Some
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the damn time, and the landlord was told about it constantly and just didn't give a shit. This place.
I can't even get close enough to kill them. I just scream until someone kills it for me. And I think the only thing I've done is I, from a distance, sprayed a bunch of hairspray on it so it would be stuck, and then wait till someone to come kill it.
This place is twice as much in rent, but I'm so glad I live here now.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
like
because it's
I'd
not a
take that.
spider house.
And it's much bigger. But anyway, that's another show, Tekken Bloodline. This was announced a long, long time ago.
Yeah.
But it's got a date now. It comes out on Netflix. It's an anime, by the way, I should say that. On August 18th, it comes out. And it's got a trailer.
Can't wait for this one.
I didn't watch the trailer, though. Did I?
It's great. Honestly, this looks great. I love Tekken's dumb bullshit.
Tekken's
so I'm excited to see that on
ridiculous.
Netflix. It is. It's incredibly dumb, and I love it.
Have you been watching the Giant Bomb series of them ranking the endings of Tekken?
Yes, I have been, and it's incredible.
I watched the first two. I haven't seen this new one yet.
It's really good.
Rachel, you going to watch Tekken Bloodline?
I don't know. I don't like anime.
Me neither. But Tekken might make me... I'm going to give it a chance. Although, actually, I've been threatening to cancel my Netflix for months now because I really don't even
I
use it
haven't
anymore.
too, honestly, but Stranger Things came out, and I was like, all right, fine.
I said I was going to do it after the last Norm Macdonald special, and I still haven't watched it. So,
It is heartbreaking
Yeah, I bet.
when you do watch it.
Oh, is it no good?
well, no, he
No, it's good. The problem is he's died,
Yeah.
and you're watching a man
He
kind
did.
of
yeah.
do his last stand-up special,
Yeah.
and it's depressing.
I can't keep up with everything because there's like a million different streaming platforms now. People are like, "Did you
Yes.
watch this show?" And I'm like, "Which one is it on?"
Yes.
Because there's way too many different streaming platforms now. I can't keep up with things, or they'll put out one show on one streaming platform, and then season 2 will be on a
Yeah.
different streaming platform, and then the ads have gotten just as bad as they were back when cable was a thing. I thought the whole point of the streaming channels were to get away from cable, and now we have the same problems we did to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's piracy's coming back in a big way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I subscribe.
We gave them a chance, and they still fucked it up again. So I'm sorry, but I'm just going to go download what I want to watch because I can't find it anywhere else.
I subscribe to almost all of them now, and I gotta start cutting some. And Netflix
Yeah,
is probably gonna be the first one because they keep jacking up their prices, and I'm just not watching it.
I'll be honest, I'm good with just HBO Max and Disney Plus.
Honestly, yeah. Like, and I was talking to somebody the other day just about movies and stuff in general, and I'm just realizing, like, if it's... I haven't watched very much that's not Marvel or Star Wars in a long time.
Yeah.
Which isn't great. Like, I'm not proud of that fact, but that's just kind of the way it's worked out.
If it's what you like, it's what you like.
And mostly when I, like, lay in bed, I put on YouTube 99% of the time.
Yeah, I do too, actually. Like, because it's free.
Yeah.
So.
Last bit
But
of...
the ads on YouTube have
yeah.
gotten even worse, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You've
it's
got
bad.
pre-rolls, mid-rolls, end-rolls, pop-ups, just... Oh,
You're right about that.
I can't. I'll go open a video on YouTube, and then I see, one of 3 ads, and then I do the chance, like, how badly do I want to see this video? Do I want to see it 3 ads bad? Nope. And I close it.
But if you're watching this now on YouTube, click that subscribe button down below.
Yeah, that would,
Leave a comment,
subscribe
leave a
is
comment.
safe. Yeah.
And MGM has lost the film rights. I had a typo here. The film rights to Tomb Raider, and so it's kind of up for grabs now. If anybody wants it anymore, I don't even know. Like, I don't know if all right. So Alicia Vikander, excuse me.
I can never. She's like Swedish, I think.
Okay.
Like
She's super hot, though.
Yeah,
That's all I
yeah,
know.
So she's out.
She's not doing it anymore.
Well,
she was so
no,
good.
I mean, well, MGM
Yeah.
lost it. Like, so
yeah,
that series is
her
going.
contract was with MGM.
Yeah.
yeah.
So it remains to be seen if anybody's going to make more Tomb Raider, and if they do, it's going to be with somebody new.
They
What else
gotta
are they
make
gonna
the
do with
Uncharted
it?
killer. That movie we all saw and loved.
Say that again, Hunter.
They gotta make the Uncharted killer.
Yeah.
The movie we all saw. and
So
loved.
yes.
I did not see Uncharted.
Maybe.
I will
I
not see
hated
Uncharted. I will
hated it.
not. Because no.
I didn't.
Video games are such a higher level of entertainment than movies already. When you try to take a video game and condense one person's experience into a film,
Yes.
it's always going to suck because you're alienating everybody that played it except for the small few that had the same experience you did.
Yes.
And it's so stupid.
I get
I did
handle
love
it.
Sonic though. I love those movies.
Oh, I did not watch it.
I didn't.
They're so good.
I don't see most of these video game movies because they're just. I mean, for
They're
the
always
same
bad.
thing with Rachel.
Like it's just.
It's not just that they've always been bad. I just think, and it's basically the same thing Rachel just said. I think they always will be bad because you just can't take something that was made to play over 20 hours or longer most of the time now, and condense it.
I think-
but a show, shows can be good. Like I didn't watch Arcane, but everybody flipped out over how good Arcane was, or Castlevania.
Arcane's great.
Yeah.
I think I talked about this on one of my other podcasts, Phantom Zone, where we were like, I think that what Detective Pikachu and Sonic got right.
I did love Detective
is
Pikachu.
It's not the games they're adapting; they're just taking the characters and putting them in a movie, and it feels like that's the way to go. Like at least for these kids' movies, like the Mario movie that's coming out, like Sonic
Yeah.
and Detective Pikachu.
That
Yeah.
goddamn Mario movie, boy.
I'm really worried about the Borderlands movie.
Oh, I forgot about
why
the
I am
Borderlands movie.
still pissed off that they got Jack Black for Claptrap. I love Jack Black.
Yeah.
He is great. I love Claptrap though. He's my favorite Borderlands character. But why didn't they get Claptrap's voice actor
Yeah, it's
instead
so
of Jack
weird.
Black? It's the dumbest, obvious star grab I've ever seen, and I'm just so worried about
Yeah.
it.
I mean,
Because just
that's the same thing with Charles Martinet not being Mario, right?
Yeah, it's very strange. And apparently Charles Martinet is in the
Right.
movie somewhere.
Yeah. They
So-
they said he
oh,
gets
that's so cute.
other cameos.
I love him.
Well, let him be Mario.
Yeah, let him be
I
Mario.
know.
And I
Unless
know,
he's
and-
Wario. Then
Yeah.
I'm
And
okay.
I don't even
That's all I
necessarily
want.
have the problem with Chris Pratt that other people do. I like Chris Pratt in some stuff, but I don't.
think he's
I
fine.
don't.
As Mario, though.
Yeah.
As
As
Mario.
Mario,
Yeah, I don't
I'm
see
like, no.
That can't work.
Other-
But yeah, with like Borderlands, those characters are so big in the games. There is nobody on Earth, other than their original voice actors, that can give them that largeness that they have in the games, because their personalities are larger than normal people.
Absolutely.
They're
And I don't even.
huge, like Mr. Torque and Tiny Tina, and it just no one's gonna be able to replicate that.
What are they doing with that movie? Is it gonna be because like the main plot of Borderlands 1 to me wasn't that memorable. It was Borderlands 2 where with
It's
Handsome
barely
Jack.
a plot. It's
Right.
barely
It was
a plot.
Borderlands 2 is
Right.
where they really just found their groove.
So is Handsome
Yeah.
Jack gonna be the villain of this movie, or are they?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know the time frame either, because we know we have Lilith.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I think it's going to be probably in between 2 and 3, but then wasn't Borderlands the
pre-sequel?
the Telltale Games
Oh.
one? Wasn't that in between 2 and 3, cuz Handsome Jack was already dead. They killed Scooter,
Yes.
and then they went on to do 3, which Scooter was already dead in 3.
Right.
Because then instead of him, we have
The sister.
what's her face?
Yeah. I don't remember her name, but yeah, the sister.
I don't even remember.
She's the really heavy set
Yeah,
lady.
Scooter's sister.
Oh, his sister.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
Right.
can't remember her name.
Yeah.
I don't remember her name.
I know. I will, as soon as we stop recording,
I know.
I'll be like,
It's-
"Ugh, that was her
and
name."
she's great, too,
So
so-
we have her. Yeah. So we have. I know that that one I believe is in between 2 and 3. I have no idea where the movie where in the world the movie takes place, other than we know we have Tiny Tina. It's got to be after pre-sequel. I mean, after the Telltale's game, because Scooter's not in it, but the heavyset lady is.
Oh.
So it's
Yeah.
got to be after the Telltale game. What is that called? Borderlands.
Tales from the Borderlands.
Tales from
Yeah.
the Borderlands.
So it's got to be after that, because Scooter's already dead.
Honestly,
Which I
if-
still have not forgiven them for. How
Yeah.
dare they?
it is annoying.
You just reminded
How
me they're
dare
doing a
they?
Tales from the Borderlands sequel supposedly this year. I completely forgot about that.
What?
Oh yeah, you didn't
Hold
do
on.
that? That was announced at PAX like 3
I-
months ago.
I love Tales from the Borderlands.
I liked it.
It's the only Telltale.
Way better than I expected.
It's the only Telltale game I really like.
It was
Yeah.
better than pre-sequel. Yeah, I agree with that too.
And I don't really like these Telltale like story games.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
I'm not a big fan.
But-
But like that one, I was like, yeah, this one's good.
But
Yeah, that one I like.
this one is being developed in-house at not Bungie, Gearbox. Yeah,
Gearbox,
so
okay.
because Telltale died and then came back, but it's like not really Telltale.
But is it Gearbox, Texas Gearbox, or Gearbox? I think it was Australia, because Australia did, or wherever the other one is, the
Pre-sequel?
satellite one. They did pre-sequel, and that was not good.
I think
one's-
I think Gearbox Australia got shut down.
Good. Well, I
Probably
mean,
that-
that's sad because
Yeah.
that's sad that anybody gets shut down.
I
But
mean,
pre-sequel was really
Yeah.
bad.
it's,
I
it's awful,
didn't
but-
get very far in it. I kind of got bored.
I never finished it. I couldn't handle it. It was so un-Borderlands. It felt like
very-
worse than a fan project.
Do we know when the Borderlands
It was
movie
bad.
is out? Have they said?
No.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm guessing it's next year.
Okay.
But I could be wrong.
Bungie is suing a dude who sounds like he absolutely deserves it.
Suing a dude.
Guy is his name is Miffy's World, and
Miffy's
he
World.
has
I would sue him for that name too.
Yeah, I would
well
too.
wait till you
That's
hear what this
awful.
shithead's been doing. He has threatened to burn down Bungie HQ
Oh, okay.
and-
all right.
He's one of those guys.
and
All right.
said he's moving to Seattle, which is where Bungie HQ is, and told developers, hey, you better watch your back and shit like this.
Oh, so he's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. He apparently before
well, I
all
want to
the-
know why though.
Right.
What is he pissed off about? Is did they change Master Chief's armor color or something?
no, he's a Destiny streamer who had.
Oh God, he's a Destiny
Yeah.
player. That's all you need to
Hey,
say.
I'm a Destiny player. He has been banned for cheating in the game 13 times. Yeah. So,
Okay.
Dude, how much do you have to suck?
no. So this guy's a fucking
Oh my
lunatic,
God.
essentially.
He's really bad at cheating too. He was caught
Yeah,
13
obviously he can't,
times.
he's bad at the game and at cheating. Wow, this poor dude. And he's got that name. Wow, he's just set up to fail.
So I think this is great news, and I hope this has a chilling effect. Like, I hope other studios start suing their,
Yeah.
their
At
harassment.
this
Like,
point,
Absolutely.
they gotta start because this
Yeah.
is ridiculous.
There's,
Yeah.
there's like Twitter trolls and console wars, and they're bad enough, but this kind of shit is way over the line.
Yeah, when you're moving to Seattle and threatening Bungie employees, like you are a special kind of shit stain.
Absolutely.
I just don't understand how social media will go after somebody because 10 years ago they made a redhead joke and they'll destroy that person's livelihood, yet we allow people like this to continue to do what they do. Why we're attacking the completely wrong people.
Honestly, like sometimes I'm like, maybe we're overstepping our bounds here. But now I'm looking at this guy Miffy's World, I'm like, maybe we should be like starting a hashtag about this guy.
I didn't even notice this until now. They have several of his old account names here in the story. Most of them are just stupid,
no.
like Bungie Mad.
Bungie,
Yeah.
man.
But the first two are Ho Annihilator
Okay, yeah.
and
Alright.
Ho Hitter. I can promise you this guy's not annihilating any hoes.
I can promise you he's never actually had a girlfriend he didn't have to pay for either. Not with names like that.
Wow, I didn't even notice that in the story until just now. That's hilarious.
I can't wait to see a picture. I already know what he looks like.
I don't see a picture, unfortunately. At least not in this story. Maybe there is some other ones. Yeah, Bungie, take this guy down. And then everybody else starts suing your fucking trolls, too. The ones who are,
Yeah.
like, if they're giving actual threats, fuck them. And Bungie also, a couple after this, said, hey, we're talking to our community less because of shit like this. Like, this guy's obviously the worst, but, like,
Yeah.
our whole community is... And it's not just even just Destiny community. A lot of gamers right now are just fucking behaving disgracefully.
It's just like I think I said this last week. It's just video games,
Right.
Like
Right?
Yeah.
just
I
chill.
mean, I love games, but
They're
Jesus
supposed to be
Christ.
fun.
Yeah.
If you're not having fun, play a different game.
yeah.
There's millions of them.
Yeah.
John Romero is back to making a shooter. The guy who made...
Daikatana 2?
Yeah, I doubt it. The guy who revolutionized the genre with Doom, and did he do Wolfenstein as well?
No, he did
Okay,
not.
well,
That was
Doom though.
different.
He's his studio. They did that Empire of Sin, which was a mafia strategy game, but now he's doing a first-person shooter again for the first time, and God, I don't know how long. That's exciting.
Honestly.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, there's no real information on it right now, so it's tough to talk about. But just, hey, the Godfather of the genre is coming back. That's exciting.
The boomer shooter king himself is coming
Now,
back. And,
I do wonder if it's gonna be. Like, there's kind of a renaissance of those, boomer shooters.
Yeah.
If it's going to be something like that, or if he's going to try to make it more modern. I don't know.
don't know.
His studio's not a big team anymore. He's not an id anymore. He's on his own now.
I doubt it's going to be like the ambition of like Daikatana or something like that. I'm sure it'll be something lower scale. But I kind of hope it's a boomer shooter because like he's kind of the guy who invented them.
Right.
So, or him and Carmack. But
Yeah. Yeah, so that's definitely something to keep your eye on. Discord voice chat is now on Xbox. On PlayStation and Xbox for a long time, they've had an integration where you could like just make it say on Discord, hey, so and so is playing Halo or playing Horizon or whatever. Who cares about that, right? People have always wanted voice chat so that we can do voice chat. So one day, if it's on all the platforms, we can do voice chat across platform. But I mean, you can within the games now, like Destiny, but not like in a party. And this is the first step to that. It's not on PlayStation yet, but hopefully someday it will be. And hey, maybe hopefully someday on Switch too, if we're really lucky.
Maybe. I mean, hey, I got dreams.
Yeah,
too.
I know. The way they do it now is clunky as shit. You still got to start the voice chat party on your phone, and then you can transfer it over to your Xbox.
That's very strange.
Yeah, so
Why is this so hard for them to get
I
right?
don't
We've
know.
had it on our consoles for forever.
I don't
like,
know.
That's like when the newest Xbox came out and we couldn't send voice messages anymore. It's like, what?
Right.
You know what's
how,
strange?
how is this not a thing?
What's strange to me is like Spotify on Xbox works so seamlessly.
Right.
And that's a feature I use like almost daily. And like they can't somehow do that, but with Discord, that's very strange to me.
Yeah, I don't understand why some of these things that we've had, since PS2, they can't figure out how to do anymore.
Yeah. But this is the first step, I hope, because like I said,
Yeah.
I want it everywhere, and then it'd be great, and this is, really stretching, but if they could even integrate themselves into the Xbox and PlayStation UIs where you could, if I'm playing on PlayStation, you're playing on Xbox, I could still send you invites into my game through Discord. I know that would take a lot of work, and that's not going to happen tomorrow, but, if that's the end game, I'd be happy.
Yeah. I mean, hey, anything closer to like everyone having crossplay, I'm down
Yeah.
for it.
Absolutely. And it's just weird because PlayStation made a big investment in Discord last year, and Xbox is getting this
Yeah.
first. But I'm sure it's going to come to PlayStation too.
I'm sure it will too.
Naughty Dog's Bruce Straley, or formerly of Naughty Dog, Bruce Straley has founded a new studio, Wildflower Interactive. We don't know anything about what they're making or anything, but it's an interesting time for all these big name developers, like John Romero, actually, another one, and even Amy Hennig, just kind of getting out and making their own studio. There's so much capital coming into the industry right now. From, we've seen Microsoft and Sony and Embracer and Tencent all step up their investments, but also a bunch of private equity have too. And it's just like everybody wants games made, and there's just so much money coming into the industry now that you're seeing so many independent studios from big name talent like this pop up. And I think it's a great thing.
Yeah, it creates more competition. So anything like that's good. I'm excited to see what these guys make. Naughty Dog, as much as I don't like Last of Us, like they've.
Neither of them?
Here's my thing with Last of Us. I like that first game a whole lot. As soon as it became a franchise, I was like, I am no longer interested in this.
I still haven't played 2, but I love the first one.
They both lasted too long.
Yeah.
Too long. I definitely thought, and I think with the latest one, they kind of pussed out of a lot of really cool things that I think they could have done, but to make it as I don't really know how to explain it. It was what I thought should have happened was at the very end when the two girls, what were their names again?
Abby and Ellie.
Abby and Ellie, when they were fighting, I think one of them should have killed the other, and I think you as a gamer should have had to have made that choice because they had made us play both of us. They had both of them. They had told us the story of both of them, and now it was time for us to choose.
Yeah.
And I think that it would have been a huge, huge thing and gotten a lot of people talking if they had forced us to, as the other character, kill one of the other ones off.
Yeah.
They kept leading up to it, and I love when movies, shows, and games really, really take a jump like that and a leap and make you make a hard choice or actually kill a big character off that a lot of people probably won't like. That choice, I love it when they do that, and I think that they really just wimped out at the end, and it just kind of ended with no real resolution.
Yeah, Gears 5 kind of ended that way.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, I didn't play Gears.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I won't.
Oh.
I loved Gears, but once Cliffy left, I thought that the series just took on a completely different feel, and it just didn't feel like Gears to me. I don't know. I tried them all. But
4 and
couldn't.
5 are definitely different. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's a different direction. I still like the direction. It's definitely a different thing, but it's still something I enjoy the hell out of.
Gears lost me once they started introducing robots. I was like, all right, I think we're
They're gone.
reaching a point where I don't need
They're gone in
this.
5. They're
Okay, whew,
yeah.
thank God.
At least I think they are. Well, I shouldn't say they're not. You don't fight against them in 5. Let me put it that way.
If there are robots in Gears 5, let me know in the comments. And I'll
Well,
go on,
they're
okay?
in. All right, this is a small spoiler. They're in there, but they're on your side now. It's a big thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
All right, I gotta go to the bathroom, but I'm gonna talk about this next story, and then I'll let you guys take it, and I'm gonna run to the bathroom. Sony is shutting down some servers on some games. Killzone Mercenary, which I think is a PS Vita game. Killzone Shadowfall, which was a PS4 game, and Riggs Mechanized Combat League, which was a PSVR game. They're shutting down the servers on them, and you won't be able to play the multiplayer in any of those games, or the, I think there's some leaderboard stuff like that, all that kind of thing. You can still play the single-player campaigns, but that's it. And I'm going to run while you guys talk.
So, hold on, I gotta look at these games. So, Killzone Mercenaries, Killzone Shadowfall, and Riggs. Have you ever played any of these, Rachel?
I played Killzone, but way back in the day, not on
Yeah.
the Vita. I can't believe there's anybody out there still playing anything on the Vita.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. I know I have a friend who's super crazy into it, but like,
That's like saying they still play on the N-Gage. Like,
Yeah.
who does that?
I mean, my Vita was a Persona 4 Golden machine, so like, I had that for a while. But like, who is playing Killzone online? Who's playing online on the Vita?
And who are they playing with? Like,
Exactly.
the one guy that's still playing. Who is he playing online with?
Like, it's a thing of like, I've never played Riggs either. This is the first time I've ever heard.
I've
of this
never
game.
heard of it.
I don't know. It seems like we were talking about the 3DS thing. Like, and no shade to the Vita, because I know people love that thing, but like, these games are all dead. I played Killzone Shadowfall when it came out on PS4, and that was it. Like,
Yeah.
just weird decision all around that it was still around. Like,
I know these announcements of things that are getting shut down. I'm not shocked that they're getting shut down. I'm shocked that they're still actually around.
yeah,
They weren't shut
honestly.
down years ago.
Like, I like they had those Ubisoft games that were shut down, I think, last month. And like,
Yeah.
I think back to those, and even some of those, I'm like, who are still playing these?
Yeah. Who's the guy?
Like, yeah. There's got to be like a small Reddit somewhere playing all these.
Yeah.
Eric, have you ever
Yeah.
played Killzone? Tactics or whatever it is? Shadowfall?
I've not played Shadowfall. I played some of the original Killzones, but and
Yeah.
I didn't.
Like what, PS1?
Yeah, 2, I think.
Yeah.
I didn't really like them.
Oh yeah,
I
not
remember-
PS1, PS2 for sure.
But what drives me crazy, I think Sony does this more than anyone else. Well, maybe Ubisoft, but Sony shuts down servers pretty damn quick. Like, Killzone Shadowfall is a PS4 game. Like, if it was PS3, maybe I could understand, but 4 is still relatively new.
But if there are not enough players on it
Yes.
to actually make it worthwhile to keep open, then, I mean, because every server that's up, they have to pay to keep it up.
Yeah.
But then they also have to have employees to take care of it if something goes down. So if you don't have enough player base to really make even that out, then yeah, shut that shit down.
Might as well.
You're not wrong about that, but the other thing that bugs me is that, and we talked about this with Ubisoft last episode, they have a subscription service now where it's like, hey, our whole thing is that we're making our old games available to you now for this low price, and it really, I think, hurts that value when you're taking some of your old games offline.
When you can't play those games, like, and you're paying for them, like, what's the point?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I don't know. It would bug me less if they didn't have the subscription service. Most 360 games are still up, although Ubisoft's starting to take some down. But I guess actually Microsoft did just take down Halos 3 and 4, but that's because they're also available in the Master Chief Collection, so it's like there's still a way to play them.
I don't think anyone's playing that classic version.
Right.
I don't see a reason why to.
I always never understand why they will like re-release a game or something and then have it have less features as the original. Like one of my favorite that I'm still butt sore about that they did this to was the Jet Set Radio Future.
Yeah.
It originally on Dreamcast, and when they announced that they were re-releasing it for the Xbox, I was like through the roof excited. I was so ready. This was going to be the best day ever. And I get it. It didn't have the same online features. Like I wasn't able to upload my own photos into the game and use those as sprays. And that was one of the biggest features for me on the Dreamcast. Because I would upload tons of porn and just go spray my town with porn. And that's all I wanted to do in the Xbox version again. And I couldn't. And it just ruined the whole experience for me.
How old were you when that game came out?
I think I was in college.
Oh, okay.
I think, I was old enough,
Okay.
yes.
I just put
Yes.
Jet Set Radio Future on my Steam Deck, actually. I've never played it, so I'm looking forward to that.
Oh my god, the music
Classic.
is so good. It's so fun.
Have you seen Bomb Rush Cyberpunk?
Oh,
I've never even
All right,
heard of that.
So this
What
is
that?
a game coming out. Did they delay it till next year?
I don't know if it got delayed
Okay.
or not, but I know it's coming out.
So it's an indie team named Team Reptile who made the Lethal League games, which I love. And it is a spiritual successor to Jet Set Radio. And they got
it's basically the same.
but they
thing.
got the composer too. What's his
did.
name?
Too mellow.
Okay.
I think. Is
I'm
that
going
it?
to tweet them and I'm going to be like, can I spray paint porn? And if the answer is no,
Well, I mean, it's
then I'm
it's gonna be
mad.
on PC, so I'm sure somebody will find a way for you to do that.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to remind me. I gotta send you videos now of the tractor thing, and now I gotta send you this too.
Okay, I was
Yes.
wrong. The composer is Hideki Nagamura.
I thought it was a Japanese guy. I was gonna say that.
Yeah, it wasn't. Too mellow is a guy who makes a lot of music inspired by it.
Okay.
That's why I got confused.
Yeah. So, anyway, so you got that to look forward to. I think that's next year, maybe late this year. I don't remember.
We'll see.
I loved their two previous games, the two Lethal League games. Very different thing though, but it has the art style of Jet Set Radio. Disney Dreamlight Valley had a trailer and a release date for September 6th. Now it's early access. The full version will be next year, when it is the full version, it'll be free to play. But this early access period is going to be on Game Pass anyway, and it's
Oh, good.
yeah, it's a Stardew Valley.
I'm excited for that.
With Disney characters.
Yeah. I'm gonna play this because any game where you get to hang out with Goofy is a good game.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a huge Disney person, so I'll definitely play it.
I wonder, if they'll eventually put Marvel and Star Wars in there.
I want to hang out with Tony Stark. That's all I want.
It will be monetized to hell, though, for sure. But,
Yes,
Yeah.
it will. Absolutely. All their other games, like on the iPad or iPhone,
Right.
that are, the Disney, especially the park games where you can build your own park with all the rides. Oh my God, the amount of money they want for every little. It's like, here's a bench. This bench is $10.
Thanks, Bob Chapek.
Oof.
Um,
Yeah, I hate that guy.
Mojang came out and said no NFTs in Minecraft ever. Not much more to say
Good.
about that, right?
That makes sense.
The Sims accidentally added incest. I don't even know how you do that.
Unless you've been playing with mods,
Well.
then they've had it for a very long time.
So they had this update. Let me pull up this story. They had this update that had, and it was a free update too. And one of the things that it added was kind of character desires or wants. And this somehow worked out where people were wanting their own family members.
They forgot to turn that off in the settings
Yeah,
somewhere.
guess so. And they responded and said, we're aware of it, and we're going to fix it. They may have by now, because this was a couple days ago. But how the hell do you do that?
But have fun banging your
Yeah.
sister while it lasts.
Alabama Simulator. Yeah, I mean, hey. I guess
I miss The
you can't
Sims
stop
Online.
hoarding.
What
Yeah, you can't stop
What'd you
hoarding.
say, Rachel?
You can't.
I miss The Sims Online. That game was so before its time.
I didn't. When was that? I've never played a
That
Sims.
was a while back. That was like,
Yeah.
I remember that coming out and my friends talking about it. I was like, what is
Yeah,
this?
it was so good. It was so good. It was so fun. And yeah, we can't stop horny. There was I worked in a Sims brothel on Sims Online. It was awesome, but I got fired because I didn't take it seriously.
What?
But
Wait, how do you have unserious brothel?
They fired you?
they fired me because the two, when you hook up in The Sims, you go under the blankets and twirl around and make barking sounds.
Yeah, it's called woohooing.
That's
Woohooing,
just called
right?
making love.
Yeah.
And so, of course, when I would get hired at the brothel, I would make fun. I don't know, make jokes and stuff about dogs and barking and whatever. And
Was this on voice chat?
apparently some clients, no, just in typing. Some clients got upset because I didn't take it seriously. And so I was fired from the Sims Online brothel,
is
and I was really
incredible.
upset.
Wait, was this game a long time ago? I've never heard of this.
This was like mid 2000s. I
Oh,
think.
wow.
I don't even.
Yeah, but it was so good.
That's
I think that idea is really smart. Like,
It's such a good idea where you could like co-own houses and co-build houses, like especially with the game world now where people love to build bases and
Yes.
customize them. Like having The Sims Online now would be incredible, especially if like I picture it as being like The Sims 4 is now, but co-op where you could set up a town where you and your friends go in, live in this town, and you build stuff together. You build shopping centers and movie theaters, and they have houses, and you could just go in there and hang out. I'm trying to see when Sims Online was launched.
Hunter, you joked earlier that PlayStation Home was like the first metaverse. That's what this
Yeah.
sounds like too, kind of.
it was the first metaverse.
2002.
PlayStation Home.
Oh wow, that
And it was
wow.
shut down in 2008.
Wow.
Yeah, that would be something that seems like they would want to
It
bring back.
was, yeah, it was so fun. I loved Sims Online. I'm so mad that it's gone.
So anyway, get your incest in now before they fix it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep. Get in, you freaks.
The Ascent just today had its 1 year anniversary, and it teased a new DLC campaign.
Wow.
A very small tease, like there was really no information or anything, but I just wanted to point out that hey, they hit 1 year anniversary. I tried to play that game in co-op, and I was really enjoying it when it worked, but we just had so many technical problems. It kept kicking us out of the game with each other, and we eventually just gave
I
up.
wish I liked this game. I wish I liked it, but it's just
What is
not
it?
fun.
The Ascent, it was, well, 1 year ago it came out on Game Pass, and it was kind of it was kind of Diablo in a cyberpunk setting.
Yeah, it's a
Did I
Diablo
play
like
this?
twin stick shooter type thing with cyberpunk.
Yes, I did play it. And yeah, I wanted to like it, but felt like there was just something missing.
Yeah,
And
it's-
I kept playing it. I was like, maybe if I just play one more hour, and I play another hour, it's like, what am I just not getting in here that I'm supposed to latch onto? Because people were still like, oh, it's so great, it's the best game, and I just did not know what I kept missing. And finally, I was just like, okay, maybe this isn't for me.
And it ended up mostly because of the technical problems not being for me either, which was a shame because there was something there that I liked. But yeah, it didn't not enough to put up with the disconnection bullshit. I know it was a very small team. I think this was like under 10 people that made it. So I mean, at least even at the very least, graphically, what they made was very impressive for less than 10 people. And anyway, maybe whatever they're working on now with this update, I don't know. Maybe I'll give it another go. Final story here. Feels like we've been doing news forever. Annapurna had their showcase. I didn't watch the whole thing yet. I do want to. But what I did want to talk about is they announced 5 games. They're going to be day 1 on Game Pass. Although 2 of them have come out on PlayStation already, but day 1 on their Xbox releases will be on Game Pass. That is Solar Ash, Maquette, Thirsty Shooters, Bounty Star, and Flock. Did any of you guys play Solar Ash when it was on PlayStation?
No,
I've not
I did
heard
not.
of any
Okay.
of these.
Well, Solar Ash is the developers of that one game, Hyper Light Drifter.
Hyper Light
Yes.
Drifter? Yeah. I played that. That game's great.
This was a big different thing for them because actually I think it was in the Hyper Light Drifter universe, but it was
It is. It's very similar.
well gameplay wise, it's similar art style, but gameplay wise it looks very different. It almost looked like Shadow of the Colossus to me. And Flock seems like a flower-like. You remember that game Flower on PS3?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
The co-op.
That one passed me by.
Maquette is a puzzle game that people really, really liked. Thirsty Suitors is a dating sim, but with some action gameplay too.
Oh god. All right.
And Bounty Star seems like a low budget but fun shooter where you're in a mech, third person shooter in a mech. I don't know.
Okay. All right. It's got a neck.
Yeah, they're all on Game Pass, so hey, look out for all of them. I guess that's about it with the news. That was a hell of a lot. I am worn out. But we asked people for, especially because we have a guest here, we asked for questions on Twitter and Facebook, and we got a couple here. Are you ready for questions? Especially Rachel, because the first one is for you. So,
Yeah.
Lisa, I know her, 2.022 asks, what's your favorite cosplay you've ever done?
That one is always hard to answer because I have a lot of favorites for different reasons.
You can name a couple.
I'd say my favorite technically because I did not think it was something I was ever going to be able to accomplish, and I was actually really impressed with the final product. I was really, really proud of, because I learned how to work with a bunch of new materials and stuff, and I was really proud of the final product was Pink Mercy, the breast cancer skin from Mercy from Overwatch. And another personal favorite, just because I love the character so much, was Kratos. Just because, Kratos is Kratos, and I am a 5-foot perky blonde girl, so doing Kratos was really fun.
I think.
And then, of course, Cammy, because she is the one that really kicked it off.
I
for
think
me.
Cammy is when I first became aware of you with that video. Oh darn it! The guy who's now on G4. Oh no.
Little Neff?
No. Now I feel like a jerk.
I don't even know.
Cassim?
Cassie?
Yeah.
No, he was on G4.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is on G4 now.
The video you did with him is when I first became aware of you.
Yeah, most people say Cassim G or Mediocre Films are the two. The two that they know of.
And Lisa also asked for all of us, what's your game of the year so far? Hunter?
That's a tough question. It's a really
Did
tough
you play?
question.
I mean, it's not for me, but I imagine the most I imagine Elden Ring's going to win at the Keighley Awards, right?
I like Elden Ring a whole lot.
Yeah.
I will say that. I don't know if it's my game of the year. MultiVersus is kind of sliding in there for me because I really love that
honestly,
game.
yeah, for me too.
Did you say the Keighley Awards?
Yeah, the Game Awards.
yeah.
Jeff Keighley.
Dorito
There's
Pope
nobody
himself.
that likes that dude more than himself. Like, oh my god, he thinks
He is-
he's the prince of video games.
Well-
No, he's never going to be on the show.
He's my prince of video games.
No, I hear what you.
No.
I like Keighley, but you're not wrong. I see what you're
What?
saying, but I like him.
Can I put Death Stranding?
No,
when it came out again?
no, no.
No.
Speaking of Keeley, yeah.
What else? I don't know. Honestly, that's a tough question.
For me, it's MultiVersus and Destiny 2: The Witch Queen. That campaign, The Witch Queen, is the best shooter campaign I've played since Titanfall 2. That thing blew me away. Like Destiny, as much as I love it, it has not really been known for its great kind of focused campaigns in a while until this one. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm going to say for fun factor and for exceeding anything I'd ever expected is Tiny Tina Wonderlands. I love Tiny Tina Wonderlands. So good. Gearbox, I love you. And then my other game of the year for absolute just phenomenal everything is Stray. Stray is like, I'm not done yet, so I need to get through the story to fully judge the story. But now it's sitting at a very close 10 for me.
Oh, wow.
It is in every area that I usually judge a game, and I'm very hard on games, very. In every area that I usually judge games in, this one is just hitting the mark everywhere, just over and over again. It's incredible.
Hunter, did you have any more?
So yeah.
Or is that it?
Hold on, I'm looking at games that came out.
Oh, no!
You know what? I'm just gonna say MultiVersus because like I feel like I haven't really played anything that's wowed me. Elden Ring is great, but like I don't know if that's my game of the year. Like I really love that game, but
Some other... I'm now on Open Critic to look at their top games of the year. There's Neon White. I don't know if you played that.
I haven't played that
Rogue
yet.
Legacy 2, Horizon, Forbidden West.
Can I? My
I
preemptive
need
game
to
of the
play
year
that.
is Marvel Midnight
Yeah.
Suns.
Actually, I got another one that I'm going to throw on there is Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge.
Oh, that's another game that I played now. I like it a lot, but I'm like, I don't know. It's so early.
Well, yeah. I mean, sure. This is... for me, Shredder's Revenge just depends on who you played it with. And I played it with a group of 4 and had an absolute blast with it. Brett Medlock asks, how soon do you think the Xbox streaming console will be out? He's talking about, Jez Corden has talked about this a few times, that he believes, or he knows they're working on an Xbox console that is streaming only so that they can sell it.
Yeah, like a stream stick is what I've heard.
Yeah.
Haven't we tried that before in the game industry, and every time it's failed?
Yeah, y'all heard of the Luna
Yeah.
or the whatever the other one is, Stadia. That's the other one.
Yeah, but there was something even before that.
Yeah, they've
Yeah.
definitely tried it a couple times.
Yeah.
I have been doing the Xbox streaming stuff a little bit here and there, especially on the Steam Deck. And it's worked pretty well for me. It's going to depend, where you are, your internet connection, and what games you're playing. Like, there's really kind of Twitch action games I wouldn't love to play on there, but, an RPG or a strategy game or something with maybe a slower pace, I've been pretty impressed with how it's worked out.
Yeah. With my current internet setup here in New Hampshire, that's not happening ever for me.
Yeah.
If I am going to put like a couple year on it, I'm gonna say next 2 years maybe.
I would go with end of next year. I think
Sure.
by that point, hopefully, the Series X and the PS5 there'll be a lot more available out there. So that's the point where you come out with, hey, if that's still too much for you, we got this $150 box. Then streaming only, but it's a lot cheaper. Go nuts.
Sure.
I can see it for holiday 2023. And he also asks, how do you like your eggs?
Scrambled.
Me too.
I'm also
Yeah, I'm
scrambled.
basic. Jessica Bowen asks, if you had to recommend one game that everybody should play, what would it be? I guess that means for all time.
Ooh, okay.
I'll say, even though this is not my favorite genre normally, this game was so goddamn good that it just superseded all that. That's Breath of the Wild. I didn't even like Zelda until this game.
Oh, see, I liked Zelda, but I didn't like Breath of the Wild.
No. How about you guys?
Can I have 2?
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to say, first one, I think a game that everybody should play because it's got so many, it's a short game, it's about 2 hours, It's got probably one of the more interesting stories I've played in a game for a long time, and the gameplay style changes throughout the entire game, so I think it's got a little bit of gameplay style for everybody, and that's What Remains of Edith Finch. Fucking phenomenal game. When I first started playing it, a friend had recommended it, and I started streaming it, and I was like, is this a walking simulator? I fucking hate walking simulators. But he was like, no, just get past the first 10 minutes, and then I was just blown away. Everybody I've talked to, I've told to play this game, because I love the story, I love the suspense, and I love how each character's story is so drastically different than the last one. So, that one.
I think that's on Game Pass, too. I'm double checking now. But
oh, yeah, I think so, too.
Because
I think I just recommended it to my sister.
It is, yes.
Such a good game. And then my other one that I think everybody should play, everybody, because it is, in my opinion, the most perfect game we have ever seen, and that's the original BioShock.
I agree with that.
It's got everything. The only thing is, yes, the combat can be a little frustrating,
it's a bit
but
janky.
You're going to hate what I got to say about it.
the story is the best story. The twist is amazing. The characters are incredible. The sound design, the fact that Rapture is a living, breathing character on its own, just BioShock is the best game ever made.
I tried to play it for the first time like about a year ago. I had the remaster, and the combat to me, it was just a deal breaker. I really struggled with it, and I really wanted to like it because the atmosphere is incredible. You're not wrong about that. I just couldn't get past that combat.
They do fix the combat in 2. In 2, because the first one, trying to switch from, I can't remember if they call it vigors in the first 2 or if they call it in the third, but you have your power and then you have your weapon, and in the first one, it was very cumbersome to switch from power to weapon. Yeah. But in the second one, you are able to double fist it and be like, pew, 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 like that.
Hunter, you got one?
So I also have two.
Okay.
First
I
one
feel like I got
is Silent Hill 2.
Yes.
Yeah. Silent Hill 2, I think, is a perfect game. It honestly, like, I'm a person who enjoys storytelling in games. Like, I don't like these cinematic games, but I enjoy them. That's what I do. Silent Hill 2 is a perfect game to me, especially in that time period where it came out, and it was just fantastic all around. I'm a huge Silent Hill fan, so it's like
It didn't rely on jump scares.
It did.
Like a lot of other horror games.
It's very cerebral.
That's a big plus to me. I hate jump scares.
Sound design.
I'm not a fan either. But,
jump scares are so cheap. Anybody can make a jump scare, but the sound design in Silent Hill, ooh, that was.
Yep.
Ooh. Yes.
And it also, it's so weird, and I just enjoy that atmosphere that game has. And Eric's gonna hate
if you say what I think you're gonna say, I'm gonna throw my iPod across the room.
Honestly, my second one is Metal Gear Solid 2, and I'll tell you why.
I thought you were gonna say Death Stranding, and I was gonna kill you.
No.
Yeah, I would have thrown my laptop too.
That is such a niche game. I can't recommend to everyone.
You know, honestly, I was thinking the same thing with Monster Hunter World. That's my favorite game of all time, but I can't recommend that to everybody.
Yeah, but I think Metal Gear Solid 2, just because I think the storytelling in that game is amazing, and the twist is played off very well, and there's a bunch of weird bullshit in that game that I really enjoy. I think everyone should play it. So,
is that Metal Gear Solid 2? Is that the one where, or is it the first one where you fight the dude that messes with your game?
That is Metal Gear Solid 1 with Psycho Mantis.
Psycho Mantis, that was his name.
Yeah.
I could not. Yeah, I loved that boss battle, but I do prefer 2.
Cool. 2 is great because it's such a fuck you in every way, and I love that.
I actually played 2 first and liked it so much that I went back and played the first one. And although they do play very differently, I did like the first one, I think, more than I would have since I played 2 first.
Well, if you played the second one first, then you didn't get mad about the character switch.
Yeah, you didn't get mad at Raiden.
Right.
Because you didn't have the experience.
Right.
Yeah, I remember. I wasn't even into this series, but I remember that thing being a firestorm. It was like the Mass Effect 3 ending. It was just Everybody was mad.
It's insane, but I love it. Yeah, that's my two.
I think that's going to do it for us then. Rachel, why don't you plug your Twitter and Twitch and anything you want to plug first? Where can we find it?
Yeah. So my three main ones are Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram, and they're all the same handle, which is @therachul.
RAYCHUL.
Yes, it's phonetic. Raychul.
Nice. And Hunter, what do you got coming up on Comic Club and your Twitter? And
Comic Club is right now we're getting used to our schedule, so we haven't recorded.
Okay.
Probably not till next week. But you can follow. You can also listen to my other podcasts that I do that I don't ever really plug on here. The Phantom Zone podcast.
You mentioned that earlier in the episode, and I was like, he has a third podcast? What the
I
fuck?
have a
How
third
dare
podcast.
I didn't know that.
So
How
that's more of like
dare he.
movies and TV's base, and it's a lot of fun. Go listen to that. We just talked about Marvel's big next 10 years, essentially. And you can follow me on Twitter and I think on Instagram, young_comic_. And yeah, I got nothing else coming up after that.
I'm going to have both your guys' Twitter under your pictures, too, in the thing. When I have this.
Nice.
Rachel, thank you so much for coming on. You
Thank
you
you.
killed it.
Oh, thanks.
And I guess that's going to do it. Thanks for watching Crossover Attack. Please subscribe on podcast services, on YouTube. Leave ratings, all the stuff that you know how to do. And until next time, consider yourselves influenced.